In the stillness of night, when the world softens, you are left alone with your thoughts. The quiet hum of the universe seeps into the spaces of your mind, and as you settle beneath the blanket of the dark, you begin to ponder. What is it that we truly seek in our relationships? It is peace, isn't it? The kind of peace that fills the spaces between words, the comfort of understanding that lingers even in silence. Peace, like a soft breeze brushing against your soul, reminding you that you are enough, that the bonds you form with others are enough. As the day folds into night, let us explore the wisdom of relationships. Not the bustling, complicated ties we often chase, but the serene, simple wisdom that allows us to rest. Imagine, just for a moment, that each relationship you hold is a river. The current might carry you forward, sometimes swift, other times slow, but the river always finds its course. Relationships, too, must flow. When the water is still, it is like the tranquility of a quiet evening, where every ripple is an invitation to rest. In the pursuit of peace, we are often taught to give, to sacrifice, to bend for the other. But here, let's contemplate a different kind of peace. One that does not ask you to lose yourself, but instead invites you to find harmony within, to be at ease, both with others and with yourself. We often think that to maintain relationships, we must be alert, ever vigilant, constantly active. But the truth is, true peace comes when we allow the ebb and flow of connection to simply be. The beauty of it lies not in constant motion, but in the moments of quiet understanding, where the noise of life is quieted and we are left only with the presence of the other. As you drift into sleep tonight, think of the relationships you cherish most. What is it that they give you? It is not always the loudest moments, the grand gestures, or the constant chatter. Often, it is the quiet comfort, the feeling that even in stillness, you are connected. And in this connection, there is peace. You don't need to chase it. Peace in relationships comes when you stop trying to control every moment. When you let go of expectations and instead hold space for what is. Just as the night holds space for the stars, your relationships hold space for you to rest, to be exactly who you are. Let your mind quiet itself and listen. What does your heart need in this moment? In the silence, there are no demands, no burdens, only acceptance, only love. When you are at peace with your relationships, you are at peace with yourself. And this peace is the greatest gift you can give yourself as you close your eyes, ready for rest. In this quiet, serene space, where the world fades into the background, know that the love you share with others is not a source of stress or exhaustion. It is the source of your calm. It is the gentle reminder that you are not alone. You are enough. Your relationships are enough. So tonight, as you lay down to rest, carry with you the wisdom of peace. A peace that is simple, profound, and timeless. Let it soothe you into sleep, knowing that all is well, and that peace, like the river, will always find its way. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Sleep better with these timeless relationship tips. As you settle in, the world quiets down. In the darkness, there is nothing but the soft rhythm of your breathing, a lullaby for the soul. In moments like these, we can begin to reflect on something deeper. How can we bring balance to the relationships in our lives, so that they too provide us with the peace we seek when the world slows down? You see, relationships, in their purest form, are not meant to drain us. They are meant to replenish, to soothe, and to help us grow. When we understand this, When we realize that our connections with others can be a source of energy rather than a burden, our rest becomes far more profound. In the quiet of the night, our minds, freed from the worries of the day, can finally embrace the beauty of these connections. So, let's explore some timeless relationship tips. Simple, yet profound. They are not complicated or difficult to grasp. In fact, they are the very essence of what makes a relationship nurturing, peaceful, and fulfilling. Start with presence. How often do we find ourselves distracted, our minds elsewhere, even when we are with the ones we love? In our fast-paced world, it is easy to let the demands of the day pull us away from the present moment. But in the stillness of the night, we can recognize that the gift of presence is the foundation of every healthy relationship. When we truly show up, when we let go of distractions and simply listen, we create a space where connection can flourish. There is a simple joy in being fully there with someone, in giving them the gift of your attention. It does not need to be extravagant. It can be a soft word, a shared smile, or a silent moment together. The act of showing up, of being present, creates a bond that allows both individuals to feel seen, heard, and valued. Next, consider the importance of boundaries, a concept often misunderstood, but so essential for peace. Boundaries are not walls. They are the spaces that allow us to preserve our own well-being while still connecting with others. In relationships, we must allow ourselves the grace to say no when we need rest, when we need time for ourselves. This is not selfishness. It is self-care. By respecting our own boundaries, we teach others to respect them too, creating a harmonious balance that fosters rest and rejuvenation. At the same time, relationships thrive when we give without expectation. This might sound counterintuitive in a world that often focuses on reciprocity. But when we act with kindness, simply for the sake of kindness, without the need for anything in return, we open the door to a deeper connection. These acts of giving, no matter how small, bring warmth to both hearts involved. They are the quiet threads that weave the fabric of trust, respect, and love. Now, let's talk about forgiveness. Holding on to grudges, harboring past hurt, these are the things that weigh heavily on the heart. They create a tension that can ripple through all of our relationships, preventing us from truly resting. But forgiveness is the key that unlocks the chains. When we release resentment, we free ourselves. We allow our hearts to breathe, to feel light, and to be open again. It is in forgiveness that we create the space for peace to enter, for healing to unfold, and for sleep to be restful and free of lingering worries. Lastly, remember to nurture. Like a garden that needs sunlight, water, and care, relationships need attention. It is easy to take those closest to us for granted, to assume they will always be there. But real love requires tending. It doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it is the simple, "How was your day?" or "I'm thinking of you," that keeps the connection alive. Just like the night sky is kept bright by countless stars, relationships are sustained by countless small acts of care. In the quiet of the evening, as you prepare for sleep, consider these simple tips. They are not rules or obligations, but gentle reminders of how to weave peace into the fabric of your relationships. When you nurture the bonds you hold dear, when you create space for presence, forgiveness, and kindness, you open yourself to deeper rest. A rest that is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual as well. And as you close your eyes, knowing that these simple, timeless tips have already begun to make a difference, allow the peace of your relationships to wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let the softness of these connections be your guide into sleep, where your heart is at ease and your soul is content. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Nurturing love and rest. How to keep your relationships healthy and sleep peacefully. In the quiet of the night, when the world outside fades away, the heart is left to ponder the things that matter most. Love, peace, connection. It is in this serene space that we must reflect on the importance of nurturing the relationships we hold dear, and how this nurturing can lead to a deeper, more restful sleep. Love, in its truest form, is not just an emotion we feel, but an energy we cultivate. It is like a garden that requires care, patience, and attention to grow. To keep our relationships healthy, we must tend to them regularly, as we would tend to a garden of delicate flowers. If we ignore them, they begin to wither. But when we nurture them with kindness, understanding, and patience, they bloom into something truly beautiful. But what does it mean to nurture a relationship? It begins with a simple act of presence. When you are present in the moment, truly attuned to the person you love, you are sending them a silent message. I see you. I hear you. You matter to me. This act of being fully there, without distractions, without worries, is one of the most powerful ways to nurture a connection. In the soft glow of the evening, take a moment to reflect on how often you allow yourself to be fully present with those around you. How often do you listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart? Nurturing love also means giving space. Just as a tree needs room to grow, so too does love need space to expand and flourish. It can be easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life, demanding attention, time, and energy from every corner. But love, at its core, thrives in stillness. It thrives when we allow ourselves and our loved ones the space to be who they are, without judgment or pressure. In this space, love can be free, not bound by expectations or timelines. It can breathe, grow, and rest, just as you do when you surrender to the peaceful embrace of sleep. At times, nurturing love means doing the small, unnoticed things. These are the gestures that don't require grand declarations or fanfare. They are the simple acts of kindness, the soft words of encouragement, the shared moments of laughter or quiet reflection. These seemingly small things create a foundation of trust and security. It is in these moments that love becomes a sanctuary, a place where both hearts can rest in the warmth of mutual care. But nurturing love also means taking care of yourself. Often, we forget that in order to love others deeply, we must first love ourselves. When we neglect our own needs, when we push ourselves beyond our limits, we cannot give our best to others. Self-care is not selfish, it is essential. Just as you would water a plant, feed it with sunlight, and give it the care it needs to thrive, so too must you nourish your own soul. Only then can you offer the fullness of yourself to those you love. This self-love creates the foundation for the healthy, balanced relationships that lead to peaceful rest. In the stillness of the night, consider the health of your relationships. Are they filled with understanding? Are they nurtured with patience, care, and kindness? Take a deep breath and know that in this moment, all that is required is for you to offer love to both others and yourself. The rest will follow. As you prepare to close your eyes, imagine the relationships in your life as radiant threads woven together, strong yet flexible, nurturing yet free. Each connection is a reflection of your care, your presence, and your love. Let this peaceful thought guide you into sleep, knowing that by nurturing the love in your life, you are not only building stronger bonds, but also creating a deeper sense of peace within yourself. A peace that will carry you through the night as your heart rests in the warmth of love. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Relationship wisdom to unwind and fall asleep. As the world grows quieter, the demands of the day begin to fade into the background, and you are left with nothing but the soft pulse of your own thoughts. In this space, where the weight of the day lifts from your shoulders, there is room to breathe, to reflect, and to release. This is where relationship wisdom can become your guiding light, leading you into a peaceful state of rest. It is in the quiet moments of the night that the true essence of our relationships reveals itself. We begin to see that the key to unwinding isn't just in turning off the external noise, but in creating a space of inner peace, one that is rooted in the wisdom we have cultivated through our connections with others. Relationship wisdom, in this sense, is not just a collection of advice or practical tips. It is the understanding that every relationship, whether with a partner, family, friend, or even yourself, has a rhythm, a flow. When we learn to attune ourselves to that rhythm, when we listen closely to the unspoken language of love and care, we begin to unwind in ways that are deeply restorative. One of the first things we must remember as we begin to unwind is that rest in relationships comes from acceptance. So often, we are caught up in the desire for perfection, wanting our relationships to be without fault, without misunderstanding, without conflict. But the truth is, conflict is a natural part of any relationship. It is not the conflict itself that disturbs our peace, but our reaction to it. When we can accept that disagreements and differences are part of the journey, we allow ourselves the freedom to relax, to let go of the tension that comes from trying to control or fix every moment. We learn that peace exists not in the absence of conflict, but in the way we navigate it. As you close your eyes tonight, let go of the desire for perfection in your relationships. Instead, embrace the beauty of imperfection, the quiet wisdom in knowing that all relationships are evolving, growing, and learning. In accepting this, you free yourself from the stress of trying to make everything just right. You can relax into the quiet, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Another element of unwinding through relationship wisdom is the act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just an act we do for others. It is a gift we give ourselves. Holding on to past hurts, replaying old arguments, or clinging to resentment creates a weight that is impossible to carry through the night. But when we let go, when we forgive, both others and ourselves, we release that weight. We free ourselves from the chains that keep our minds restless and our hearts heavy. In the stillness of the night, allow yourself to reflect on what you might need to forgive. Is there a lingering grudge, a forgotten slight, or perhaps a mistake that you have not yet let go of? Understand that forgiveness is not about excusing behavior, but about freeing yourself from the hold that past pain has on your peace. In forgiveness, there is freedom. There is the space to breathe, to rest, and to fall asleep without the burden of unresolved feelings. Nurturing your relationships also means learning to communicate with love and understanding. Too often, words are used as weapons, sharp and cutting, instead of tools for connection. But true communication in relationships is rooted in compassion. It is the ability to speak from the heart, to listen without judgment, and to understand with patience. When we communicate from a place of love, we invite understanding into our relationships, and we create an environment where peace can thrive. As you drift deeper into relaxation tonight, think about the conversations you've had today. Were they filled with understanding? Were they spoken from a place of care? Take a deep breath and let go of any words that have caused tension or stress. In the quiet of your mind, find peace in the knowledge that you can always choose to communicate with love. And in doing so, you create the space for restful sleep, free from the echoes of harsh words or misunderstandings. Finally, remember that relationships require balance. In the same way that your body needs rest after a long day, your heart and mind need space to process, to heal, and to rejuvenate. Sometimes this means stepping back. Sometimes it means allowing time and distance to create a sense of peace before re-engaging. Just as you would take time to recharge after a tiring day, your relationships need moments of quiet to restore their energy. By honoring this balance, you allow both yourself and your loved ones the time needed to reset, to come back together with renewed strength and understanding. As you close your eyes and begin to drift off into sleep, think of the relationships in your life as a delicate balance between giving and receiving. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Healthy relationships for sweet dreams. In the stillness of the night, when your mind begins to settle and your body seeks the warmth of sleep, there's a certain comfort in knowing that the relationships in your life are a source of peace and security. These connections, when nurtured and cherished, become the soft foundation upon which restful sleep is built. Healthy relationships are not just the ties that bind us to others. They are the threads that weave us into the fabric of tranquility, allowing us to fall asleep with a heart full of gratitude and contentment. But what does it mean to have a healthy relationship? It is not about perfection, nor is it about being without conflict. Healthy relationships are those that are grounded in mutual respect, trust, and understanding. They are spaces where both individuals can grow, evolve, and be their authentic selves, without fear of judgment or rejection. In these relationships, there is room to breathe, to relax, and to simply be. One of the core principles of a healthy relationship is trust. Trust is the bedrock upon which all meaningful connections are built. Without it, there is no foundation strong enough to weather the storms of life. Trust, however, is not something that can be demanded. It is something that is earned, nurtured over time, and protected. When we trust those we love, when we feel secure in their presence, it is as though the weight of the world lifts from our shoulders. We are able to rest in the knowledge that we are safe, both physically and emotionally. In this space of trust, there is no need to worry. There is no need to second-guess or anticipate what might go wrong. We simply exist, free from the burden of doubt, open to the possibility of connection, and secure in the knowledge that we are loved and accepted as we are. As you close your eyes, think of the trust you share with those closest to you. Feel the warmth of that trust surrounding you, wrapping you in a cocoon of safety and comfort. Let this trust carry you into sleep, knowing that in the morning it will still be there, steadfast and unwavering, ready to greet you with open arms. Another key element of healthy relationships is respect. Respect is the acknowledgement of the inherent worth of the other person. It is the understanding that each individual brings something valuable to the table, and that we are all deserving of kindness and consideration. When respect is present in a relationship, it creates an atmosphere of peace and harmony. There is no room for resentment, manipulation, or control. Instead, there is only mutual appreciation, a recognition that both individuals are equal, deserving of love and understanding. In healthy relationships, respect allows for differences to coexist without conflict. It allows for diverse perspectives, opinions, and ways of being to be heard and valued. It creates an environment where both individuals feel safe to express themselves, knowing that their feelings, thoughts, and needs will be met with empathy and understanding. As you rest tonight, reflect on the respect you have for those in your life and the respect they have for you. Feel the peace that comes from this mutual understanding, and know that it is this respect that forms the quiet rhythm of your relationship. With respect as your guide, you are free to relax, to let go, and to drift off into sleep, knowing that your relationships are rooted in something real and lasting. Another essential component of healthy relationships is open communication. Communication is the bridge that connects two hearts, the lifeline that allows understanding to flow between individuals. In relationships where communication is open and honest, there is no need for assumptions, no need for guessing. Both people feel heard, understood, and valued. When we communicate with honesty and vulnerability, we invite the other person into our world, allowing them to see us fully and to love us as we are. In the quiet of the night, as you prepare to rest, think of the times when communication in your relationships has brought you peace. Perhaps it was a simple conversation, a moment of sharing, a deep, open exchange that allowed you to feel seen. These moments of connection create a sense of calm, a sense of closeness that makes it easier to unwind and fall asleep. They remind you that you are not alone, that someone else is listening, understanding, and caring. As you close your eyes tonight, let the warmth of compassion surround you. Know that your relationships, rooted in trust, respect, communication, and compassion, are the foundation of your peace. They are the quiet lullabies that soothe your mind and heart, guiding you into a restful sleep filled with love, healing, and hope. And now, let's move on to the next chapter. The secret to healthy relationships that help you sleep soundly. As the night settles around you and the world outside fades into a soft hum, there is a gentle truth that becomes clear. The quality of your relationships plays a profound role in the peace you carry into sleep. Healthy relationships are not just sources of love and support. They are the secret to unlocking the deep, restorative sleep that nourishes both body and soul. In the quiet of the night, as you prepare to rest, you can find solace in knowing that the connections you have nurtured hold the key to your peace. But what exactly makes a relationship healthy enough to foster restful sleep? It is not the absence of conflict, nor is it the presence of perfect harmony. It is something deeper, something subtle, yet profound. Healthy relationships create a sense of security, a safe haven where you can be your true self without fear of judgment or rejection. When you feel secure in your relationships, when you know you are loved and accepted for who you are, it becomes easier to let go of the day's worries and drift into a peaceful sleep. The first secret to a healthy relationship that fosters sound sleep is emotional safety. Emotional safety means that you can express yourself freely, without fear of being misunderstood or criticized. In a relationship where emotional safety exists, there is no need to wear a mask, to pretend, or to hide parts of yourself. You can show up as you are in all your vulnerability and authenticity, and still be met with love, understanding, and support. This emotional safety creates a sense of peace, knowing that no matter what you say or do, you are valued. In the stillness of the night, reflect on the relationships in your life where you feel this sense of emotional safety. Think of the moments when you could express your deepest fears, your greatest hopes, or your quietest thoughts, and still feel embraced. It is in these moments of openness, of being seen and accepted, that your heart finds its peace. And it is this peace that allows you to rest deeply, to surrender to sleep with a calm mind and a light heart. Another important secret to a healthy relationship that promotes sleep is shared understanding. This is the ability to truly listen and comprehend one another's thoughts, feelings, and needs. In relationships where shared understanding exists, there is no need for constant questioning or second-guessing. Both individuals know that they are on the same page, that they are aligned in their desires, values, and goals. This understanding fosters trust and connection, creating a foundation where both people can feel secure, knowing that their needs will be respected. As you lie in bed tonight, think of the understanding that exists in the relationships you cherish most. Perhaps it is the way your partner knows your moods, how your friend can read the quiet in your eyes, or how your family understands your unspoken needs. This shared understanding creates an unspoken bond, a sense of unity that calms your mind and helps you to let go of any lingering tension. It is in this place of mutual understanding that you can fully relax, knowing that you are seen and heard. A third secret to healthy relationships that support sleep is nurturing communication. Communication is often viewed as a way to exchange information. But in healthy relationships, it is more than that. It is a way to connect, to bond, and to support one another. Nurturing communication is rooted in empathy, in the ability to listen with an open heart and respond with kindness. It is not just about talking, it is about understanding, validating, and offering comfort. When communication in a relationship is nurturing, it creates a space of peace and security, where both individuals feel heard and supported. In the quiet of the night, think about the conversations you have had with your loved ones. Have they been nurturing? Have they been filled with empathy and understanding? It is in these conversations, the ones where you are truly present with one another, that you can feel the weight of the world lift from your shoulders. When we know that we can speak our truth and be met with compassion, we can rest easy, knowing that our thoughts and feelings are valued. A final secret to maintaining healthy relationships that foster sound sleep is mutual respect. Respect in relationships is not just about being polite or considerate. It is about recognizing the inherent worth of the other person. It is about acknowledging that each person brings their own unique qualities, and that these differences are to be celebrated, not feared. When respect is present in a relationship, it creates a foundation of equality, where both individuals feel empowered to be themselves. It is through this mutual respect that love grows, trust deepens, and peace settles in. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Drift off to sleep with these relationship tips. As the night draws closer, there's a certain magic in the stillness that wraps around you, a time when all the noise of the world falls away, and the only sound left is the quiet beating of your heart. It is in these moments that we often reflect most deeply on the connections we have, the relationships we cherish, and the peace they bring into our lives. For it is within the warmth of healthy relationships that we find the comfort to rest, the space to let go, and the ease to drift into sleep. The ability to sleep soundly does not simply arise from physical fatigue. It is the result of emotional ease. A peaceful mind, free from worry, stress, and conflict, can release the day's tensions and gently fall into rest. One of the most profound ways to achieve this peace is through the nurturing of our relationships. The wisdom within these connections can guide us into a deep, tranquil sleep, and it starts with understanding the key tips that help us nurture these bonds. Let's start with the practice of gratitude. Gratitude, in its purest form, is a deep appreciation for the people who enrich our lives. It is an acknowledgement of their presence, their love, and the unique way they contribute to our happiness. When we cultivate gratitude in our relationships, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. We begin to notice the small acts of kindness, the gestures of love, and the quiet moments of connection. These things, though simple, are the building blocks of a peaceful mind and restful heart. As you prepare for sleep, consider the relationships you are grateful for. Reflect on the people who fill your life with love and understanding. What is it about them that brings you peace? Is it their quiet support, their listening ear, or their unwavering presence? Let your heart fill with gratitude for these connections and allow this warmth to guide you into sleep. Knowing that you are loved, appreciated, and cared for creates a soft space in your heart where worries cannot penetrate. Another relationship tip to help you sleep is embracing vulnerability. In many of our relationships, we build walls to protect ourselves from hurt or disappointment. We fear rejection or judgment, so we hold parts of ourselves back. But true connection, the kind that fosters peace and relaxation, requires vulnerability. When we allow ourselves to be open, when we share our true selves with others, we create a space of trust and intimacy. This openness strengthens the bond and deepens the connection, making it easier to let go of the day's stresses and rest peacefully. Tonight, as you settle into bed, think about the times you have allowed yourself to be vulnerable. Think about the moments when you shared your deepest thoughts or your most tender feelings with someone you trust. Reflect on the strength that vulnerability brings, and know that it is through this openness that your relationships are strengthened and your mind is calmed. In the quiet of the night, embrace the peace that comes with knowing that you are loved not for your perfection, but for your authenticity. Quality time is another vital relationship tip that promotes restful sleep. In our busy world, it is easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily tasks and responsibilities, leaving little room for meaningful connection. However, the time we spend with those we love is one of the most powerful ways to nurture our relationships. It doesn't always need to be grand moments. Sometimes it's the small, quiet times that create the deepest bonds. A shared meal, a walk together, or even just sitting in silence, side by side, can create a sense of closeness and peace. As you reflect on your day, consider the quality moments you've shared with your loved ones. Were there any moments of connection, no matter how small? Let these moments fill your heart with warmth. In these moments, there is no need for words. The presence of each other is enough. When we invest time in those we care about, we create a foundation of trust and support that allows us to relax deeply and rest fully. Another important aspect of relationships that encourages restful sleep is mutual support. Life is not always easy. We all face challenges, hardships, and difficult times. But in healthy relationships, we are never alone in these struggles. We have someone by our side, someone who listens, comforts, and offers support. Mutual support creates a sense of security, knowing that no matter what happens, we have a partner to walk with us. This knowledge provides peace of mind, knowing that we are not carrying the weight of the world on our own. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Relationship insights that bring calm and peaceful sleep. As the night deepens and the world outside quiets, there is a stillness that invites reflection. In this moment, you can begin to understand the profound ways that your relationships, when nurtured with care, can bring you peace. A peace that settles not only in your mind, but in your soul, guiding you into the restful sleep you deserve. The wisdom of relationships is not always found in grand gestures or dramatic moments. More often than not, it lies in the small, quiet acts that create a foundation of trust, understanding, and love. These simple acts are the ones that bring calm, that soothe your restless mind, and allow you to fall asleep knowing that your heart is held, not by expectation or demand, but by mutual respect and care. One key insight is the power of patience in relationships. In a world that often values speed and instant results, patience can seem like a rare and fragile quality. Yet, in relationships, patience is one of the most profound gifts we can give to each other. It is the ability to accept the other person as they are, without rushing them, without expecting them to change or conform to a timeline. It is the quiet understanding that growth and healing take time. Think of the relationships in your life where patience has been shown. Perhaps it is in the way a loved one patiently listens as you speak your heart, or how they allow you to grow at your own pace without pressure or judgment. This patience creates a sense of calm, knowing that there is no rush, no demand for perfection. It is through this patience that you create a space where love can deepen and peace can take root. As you drift off to sleep, remember that patience, both with yourself and with others, is one of the greatest gifts you can offer in a relationship. It brings a sense of security, allowing both hearts to rest. Another powerful insight is acceptance. Acceptance of the other person's flaws, imperfections, and uniqueness. Too often, we find ourselves longing for our relationships to fit into a perfect mold. But the beauty of connection lies in the ability to accept the whole person as they are. When we accept the people we love without trying to change them, we create an environment of peace and freedom. There is no need for pretense or perfection. There is only room for authenticity, for both hearts to be vulnerable and real. In the quiet of the night, think of the relationships where acceptance is present, where you can be yourself with all your quirks and flaws and still be loved. Reflect on the freedom that comes with being accepted. Freedom from the need to impress, to perform, to be anything other than who you are. It is in this space of acceptance that true peace is found. And it is in this peace that restful sleep is born. When we know that we are loved just as we are, we can let go of the anxieties of the day and rest easy. Another insight that brings calm is the power of shared silence. In many relationships, we often feel the need to fill every moment with words, with actions, with something to prove our connection. But there is a certain magic in shared silence. It is in this silence that we truly listen, not only to the other person, but to our own hearts. Shared silence is the recognition that you do not need to say anything to feel connected. Sometimes, the greatest conversations are the ones that happen without words, where the presence of the other person is enough. As you lay in the quiet of your bed tonight, think of those moments of shared silence. Perhaps it is the times you have spent with a loved one, sitting side by side, not needing to speak, but simply being. In these moments, you find a connection that transcends words, a connection that fills you with peace. It is this shared understanding, this silent bond, that creates the calm that guides you into a deep, restful sleep. Also, consider the importance of space within relationships. It might seem counterintuitive, but giving each other space is one of the most important ways to foster peace and connection. Space in a relationship does not mean distance. It means the freedom to be individuals, to grow at your own pace, and to have moments of solitude. When you allow yourself, and your loved ones the freedom to take this space, you create an environment of respect and trust. This space allows each person to recharge, to process their own thoughts and feelings, and to return to the relationship with a renewed sense of self. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Timeless wisdom for love, rest, and happiness. As the night deepens, a soft quiet falls over the world. In the calmness of this moment, you are reminded that the simplest things, the gentle rhythms of love, the peaceful flow of rest, and the quiet joy of happiness are the true treasures of life. These elements, when nurtured with care, become the foundation of peace, creating a life that is both fulfilling and tranquil. Timeless wisdom teaches us that love, rest, and happiness are not just fleeting experiences to chase after. They are the natural byproducts of the way we choose to live, of how we nurture our relationships, our inner worlds, and our approach to the world around us. When we focus on cultivating these qualities, we find that they weave together into a life filled with warmth, connection, and peace. The first piece of wisdom is this: love is a choice, not just a feeling. We often think of love as something that happens to us, something that sweeps us off our feet and fills our hearts with joy. But true, lasting love is more than just an emotion. It is a conscious decision to show up for another person day after day with kindness, respect, and understanding. It is the quiet strength that holds a relationship together, even in the midst of challenges. As you prepare for rest tonight, reflect on the love in your life. Not just the romantic love, but all the ways love shows up in your relationships, with family, with friends, and with yourself. Think of the moments when you chose to act out of love, when you chose to be patient, to listen, to understand. These are the moments that create the foundation for lasting, peaceful connections. And it is in these relationships, where love is chosen and nurtured, that we find true peace. Another timeless piece of wisdom is rest is an act of self-compassion. In our busy world, rest is often seen as a luxury, something we earn only after we've worked hard enough. But true rest is not just a break from work. It is a vital act of self-compassion. It is the recognition that your body, mind, and spirit need time to recharge, to heal, and to simply be. In the quiet of the night, as you settle into your bed, remember that rest is a gift you give yourself. It is not something to be earned, but something you deserve. When you allow yourself to rest deeply, you are honoring your worth, acknowledging that you are worthy of peace and rejuvenation. This act of self-compassion creates a deep sense of calm, allowing you to sleep soundly and wake up ready to embrace the day with renewed strength and clarity. True happiness, as timeless wisdom reminds us, comes from within. We often search for happiness in external circumstances, thinking that when we achieve a certain goal or acquire a particular possession, we will finally be happy. But the deepest happiness is not found in things or achievements. It is found in the way we view the world, in the way we choose to respond to life's challenges, and in the way we treat ourselves and others. Happiness, in its purest form, is a state of being, a peaceful acceptance of life as it is. Tonight, as you close your eyes, reflect on the happiness that already exists within you. It is not dependent on anything external. It is the quiet joy of being alive, of being present in the moment. Think of the small, simple things that bring you joy. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of rain against your window, the laughter of a loved one. These moments of contentment, no matter how small, are the true source of happiness. And it is in this happiness that you find rest. For a happy heart is a peaceful heart, and a peaceful heart rests easily. In the stillness of the night, consider how you can nurture these qualities in your life. How can you choose love more consciously? How can you rest with compassion for yourself? And how can you cultivate happiness, not by seeking it, but by allowing it to arise naturally from within? These are the questions that, when answered, lead to a life filled with peace, love, and restful sleep. As you drift off to sleep tonight, carry with you the timeless wisdom that love, rest, and happiness are not distant goals to be reached, but present realities to be embraced. Let this wisdom soothe your mind and guide you into a night of deep, restorative rest, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, surrounded by love, at peace with yourself, and filled with the quiet joy of being. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. How to build strong relationships that help you sleep well. As the night settles, wrapping the world in a gentle silence, there is a quiet space within you where the seeds of reflection begin to sprout. In this moment, you may realize that the strength of your relationships directly impacts the quality of your rest. For the ties that bind us, whether with family, friends, or partners, are not just connections. They are the threads that hold the fabric of our peace together. Building strong relationships is not a simple task, nor is it achieved in a moment. It is a journey, one that requires patience, commitment, and intention. However, the effort to cultivate these connections brings its own rewards, leading to a life filled with love, security, and restful nights. As you settle into the quiet of the evening, consider how you can build relationships that not only enrich your life, but also create the peace that invites restful sleep. The first step in building strong relationships is mutual respect. Respect is the foundation upon which trust, understanding, and love are built. Without it, a relationship is fragile, easily fractured by misunderstandings or unmet expectations. When respect is present, both individuals feel valued and appreciated for who they are, not for what they can provide or how they behave. Reflect on the relationships in your life where respect has flourished. It is in these relationships that you feel free to be yourself, knowing that you will be accepted, flaws and all. It is in these moments of mutual respect that trust deepens and a sense of security is born. When we respect one another, we create a space where peace can grow, and it is this peace that allows us to rest deeply. Another key to building strong relationships is clear communication. Too often, we assume that others understand our needs, our desires, or our feelings. But in reality, clear and open communication is the bridge that connects two hearts. When we express ourselves honestly and listen actively, we remove the barriers that can create tension or misunderstandings. Communication is not just about speaking. It is about listening with an open heart, about creating a space where both individuals feel heard, understood, and validated. As you drift into sleep, think about the times when communication has strengthened your relationships. Perhaps it was a conversation where you spoke from your heart, and in doing so, the other person truly listened. Or perhaps it was a moment when you listened deeply, offering support without judgment. In these moments, relationships are not just sustained, they are strengthened. And in these relationships, where communication flows freely and lovingly, there is peace, and with that peace comes rest. Trust is another pillar of strong relationships. Trust is the quiet bond that holds us together, even in moments of uncertainty. It is the knowledge that we can rely on one another, that our feelings, thoughts, and vulnerabilities will be respected and kept safe. Building trust takes time, and it is fragile, easily broken by dishonesty or neglect. But when trust is nurtured and protected, it becomes the bedrock of every healthy relationship. As you prepare for sleep, reflect on the trust that exists in your relationships. How do you build trust with others? How do you ensure that your words and actions align with the love and respect you wish to cultivate? It is in the act of consistently being there for one another, of showing up with honesty and integrity, that trust grows. And it is this trust that brings the comfort and security needed for restful sleep. In building strong relationships, there must also be a commitment to emotional support. Life is filled with ups and downs, and having someone to lean on can make all the difference. Emotional support is not just about offering solutions or advice. It is about being there, in the quiet moments, offering comfort and care. It is in these moments that the depth of a relationship is truly felt, when we are allowed to be vulnerable, knowing that we will be met with compassion and understanding. Think of the relationships where you feel supported, where your emotions are met with empathy and kindness. These are the relationships that allow you to rest easy at night, knowing that you are not alone in your struggles. In the presence of emotional support, there is comfort. In the comfort of these relationships, there is peace. And in this peace, you can fall asleep knowing that you are loved and cared for. Finally, remember that shared goals and values are the glue that binds strong relationships. When we are aligned with others in our values, our passions, and our visions for the future, there is a sense of harmony that makes navigating life's challenges much easier. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Calm your mind and heart. Relationship tips for better sleep. As the world outside falls into stillness, the quiet within invites you to pause, to reflect, and to let go. In this sacred space of rest, your heart and mind can find solace. Not in the absence of thoughts, but in the presence of peace. When it comes to relationships, the wisdom that calms the mind and heart is essential for creating the kind of deep, restorative sleep that nurtures both body and soul. In the journey of life, our relationships often stir the waters of our emotions, creating ripples that sometimes keep us awake at night. The good news is, we have the power to calm those ripples, to bring peace to the chaos, and to invite tranquility into our hearts. It begins with the understanding that relationships, when approached with care and mindfulness, are not only the source of our love, but also our rest. The first tip for calming your mind and heart is the art of letting go. In relationships, we sometimes hold on to past hurts, regrets, or unresolved conflicts. These unhealed wounds create tension, clouding our minds and preventing us from experiencing true peace. But letting go does not mean forgetting. It means releasing the grip that these unresolved emotions have on us. It means choosing not to carry the burden of past pain into the present moment. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, reflect on any unresolved conflicts or lingering emotions you may be carrying in your relationships. Are there words unsaid? Hurts unhealed? Let go of the need to fix everything. Understand that not everything needs resolution right now. By releasing the weight of these lingering thoughts, you create space for peace, for connection, and for rest. In letting go, you allow yourself to sleep deeply, knowing that the healing of relationships can unfold over time, and that peace begins within you. Another tip for calming your mind is practicing mindfulness in your relationships. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, of tuning in to the moment with clarity and focus. In relationships, this means giving your full attention to the person you are with, whether it's a partner, a friend, or even yourself. Often, our minds are racing with thoughts of what we need to do next or what's coming up tomorrow. But true connection happens in the present, in the here and now. As you settle into bed tonight, take a deep breath and think of the relationships where you feel truly present. Think of the times when you have been fully engaged, listening deeply, understanding fully, without distraction. This presence creates a calmness within, a sense of peace that helps you unwind. The more we practice being present with others, the more we practice being present with ourselves. And in this presence, we find the quiet that leads to restful sleep. Gratitude is another powerful tool for calming the heart and mind. When we approach our relationships with a heart full of gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Gratitude softens the edges of conflict and refocuses our attention on the beauty that exists within our connections. It is the reminder that, even in moments of challenge, there is always something to be thankful for. The love, the support, and the moments of joy shared. As you drift into sleep, reflect on the relationships that fill your heart with gratitude. Perhaps it's the unwavering support of a family member, the kindness of a friend, or the quiet understanding of a partner. Let your heart fill with appreciation for these connections, knowing that the simple act of gratitude creates a space for peace. In the warmth of gratitude, your mind can relax, and your heart can settle into a place of calm. Forgiveness is yet another essential practice for calming the heart. When we hold on to grudges or allow resentment to take root, it creates an emotional burden that weighs heavily on the heart. Forgiveness, however, is the key that releases us from this weight. It is not about excusing behavior or forgetting. It is about freeing ourselves from the grip of anger and hurt. It is the decision to no longer carry the pain, to choose peace over bitterness. As you prepare to fall asleep, think of the relationships where forgiveness might be needed. Is there someone you are holding resentment towards? Or perhaps it is yourself that you need to forgive. Understand that forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for your own peace. By forgiving, you release the tension that keeps your mind restless, allowing your heart to rest in a place of peace and understanding. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Fall asleep faster with these relationship secrets. As you settle into the night, the soft rhythm of your breathing begins to slow, and the world outside fades into the background. In this stillness, there is room to reflect on something profound. How the quality of the relationships you nurture can influence not only your peace of mind, but also the speed and depth of your sleep. It is through these connections, these sacred bonds, that we often find the rest we seek. And tonight, as you close your eyes, you can begin to understand how simple relationship secrets can help you fall asleep faster and more peacefully. The first secret is the power of emotional release. Throughout the day, we accumulate thoughts, emotions, and experiences, many of which can leave us feeling heavy or restless. Often, we carry these with us into the night, our minds racing with unresolved feelings. But in relationships, there is an opportunity for emotional release, an opportunity to let go of the weight we carry. When we share our feelings with a loved one, when we speak our truth without fear of judgment, we release the emotional tension that prevents us from resting. As you prepare for sleep tonight, think about the relationships that allow you to express your emotions freely. Who do you turn to when you need to vent, to cry, or simply to be heard? In these moments of connection, You are not only sharing your heart, but you are also releasing the emotional weight that holds you back from rest. This release, though gentle, creates the space for peace to enter, allowing your mind to settle and your body to relax. It is in this release that you will find the stillness that leads to restful sleep. Another secret for falling asleep faster is the practice of grounding in relationships. Grounding is the act of returning to the present moment, of reconnecting with yourself and others in a meaningful way. In relationships, grounding happens when we engage in activities that bring us back to the here and now. When we share a quiet moment, when we engage in light conversation, or even when we simply sit together, feeling each other's presence. These moments of connection help us center ourselves, calming our minds and preparing us for rest. As you reflect tonight, think about the moments when you felt grounded in a relationship. Perhaps it was during a calm evening walk, a shared cup of tea, or a soft conversation before bed. These moments are like anchors, reminding you that all is well. They allow you to release the worries of the day and enter a state of relaxation. Grounding in relationships offers you the peace you need to fall asleep faster, without the noise of distraction or the weight of unresolved thoughts. Physical affection is another key secret to faster sleep. Touch, whether it's a gentle hug, a soft touch on the arm, or holding hands, has a powerful effect on our nervous system. Physical affection releases oxytocin, the hormone that fosters connection and reduces stress. When we receive affection, especially from someone we love and trust, our bodies relax and our minds become quiet. This soothing connection helps us wind down and prepares us for restful sleep. Tonight, as you lay in bed, think of the times when physical affection has helped you feel safe, loved, and at peace. Whether it's the comfort of a partner's touch or a gentle embrace from a loved one, these simple acts of affection send a signal to your nervous system that it is time to relax. In these moments, your body is reminded that it is safe, that you are loved, and that it is okay to let go. With this calm reassurance, sleep comes more easily, like a soft breeze that carries you into a peaceful rest. Another secret to falling asleep faster is letting go of expectations in relationships. We often carry the weight of expectations, both the ones we place on others and the ones we place on ourselves. In relationships, expectations can create tension, as we hold on to the belief that things should be a certain way. But when we release these expectations, we free ourselves from the need to control or predict the outcomes. Instead, we allow ourselves to embrace what is, rather than what we think should be. As you prepare to rest tonight, let go of the expectations you may have for yourself or others in your relationships. Think of the moments when you simply allowed things to unfold, when you accepted the imperfections, the misunderstandings, and the natural ebb and flow of connection. It is in letting go of these expectations that we find peace, and it is this peace that helps us unwind and fall asleep faster. By embracing what is, rather than what should be, you release the tension that keeps your mind alert, allowing your body to surrender to the quiet rhythm of sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. End your day with love. Relationship wisdom for better sleep. As the final moments of the day fade into the quiet of the night, there is a gentle invitation to slow down, to reflect, and to let go. In these last moments before sleep, we are given the precious opportunity to reset, to connect with our hearts, and to find peace in the relationships that nurture us. When we approach the end of our day with love, both for ourselves and for others, it creates a calm and peaceful space that invites restful sleep. The wisdom of love in relationships is the key to unlocking the serenity we seek as we close our eyes for the night. To end your day with love, begin with self-compassion. So often, we are our harshest critics, holding ourselves to standards that are impossible to meet. But true love, the kind that brings peace, begins within. To love yourself means to accept your flaws, your imperfections, and your humanity. It means recognizing that you are enough, just as you are, and that your worth is not determined by your actions, your achievements, or the opinions of others. As you prepare for sleep tonight, think about the love you have for yourself. Can you offer yourself the same kindness and understanding that you give to others? Can you embrace your imperfections with compassion? Reflect on the ways in which you are worthy of love, not because of what you do, but simply because you exist. It is in this self-love that you find the peace necessary for restful sleep. When you let go of self-criticism and embrace self-compassion, you create the space for your heart to rest, free from judgment or expectation. Another way to end your day with love is through expressing appreciation in your relationships. Gratitude and love are closely intertwined. When we show appreciation for the people in our lives, we create a bond that strengthens with each word. It doesn't always need to be grand gestures. Sometimes it is the simple, heartfelt words that make the biggest impact. Telling someone you love them, thanking them for their presence, or sharing a small act of kindness can transform your connection, bringing peace to both your heart and theirs. Tonight, before you close your eyes, take a moment to reflect on the people who have supported you throughout the day. Who do you feel gratitude for? Perhaps it is a partner who shared a quiet moment with you, a friend who listened to your worries, or a family member who made you feel loved. Reflect on these moments of connection and in your heart, express your appreciation. It is through these simple acts of love that relationships flourish, and it is this love that guides you into a restful sleep. A third practice for ending your day with love is forgiving yourself and others. As the day comes to a close, there is no need to carry the weight of past mistakes, missteps, or misunderstandings. Forgiveness is the key that frees us from the past, allowing us to enter the present moment with a clear heart. It is not about excusing behavior, but about letting go of the emotional baggage that prevents us from finding peace. When we forgive, we release the tension that keeps us awake at night, allowing us to rest fully and deeply. As you lay in bed tonight, think about any lingering hurt or resentment you might be holding on to. Perhaps there is something you need to forgive yourself for, or maybe it is a relationship that needs healing. Understand that forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for your own peace. When you forgive, you free yourself from the chains of the past, creating a space of calm where sleep can come easily. In the quiet of the night, let go of the weight of old wounds, knowing that forgiveness opens the door to rest. Finally, focus on the present moment. Love and peace are rooted in the here and now. Often, our minds wander to the past, rehashing old arguments or revisiting past mistakes. Or we focus on the future, worrying about what lies ahead. But true love, both for ourselves and others, can only exist in the present moment. It is in the present that we connect deeply, that we listen fully, and that we offer the kind of love that brings peace. When we focus on the present, we let go of the burdens of the past and the anxiety of the future, allowing ourselves to rest in the warmth of the moment. Tonight, as you lie down to sleep, bring your attention to the present moment. Breathe deeply and let go of any worries that may be lingering in your mind. Focus on the love that surrounds you right now, the love you give and receive, the love you have for yourself, and the love that exists in your relationships. Allow this love to fill you, to calm your mind, and to guide you into a peaceful, restful sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Creating healthy relationships that lead to peaceful sleep. As the quiet of the night surrounds you, a peaceful sense of stillness settles into your heart. In these final moments before sleep, there is a sense of completion, a soft letting go, and the recognition that the quality of your relationships plays a crucial role in the peace you experience. The relationships you cultivate, whether with family, friends, or loved ones, shape the energy of your life, influencing your ability to rest, unwind, and truly find calm. Creating healthy relationships is not about perfection. It's about fostering a space where love, trust, and respect can thrive. These relationships, when nurtured with care, become the foundation of peaceful sleep. As you drift into the night, consider the ways in which you can create relationships that not only enrich your life, but also bring you the calm needed to sleep deeply. The first step in creating these healthy relationships is mutual respect. Respect in relationships means valuing each other's individuality, opinions, and needs. It is the understanding that even though we may have different perspectives, our differences are what make us unique and worthy of honor. When respect is present, it creates a safe space where both people feel heard, understood, and appreciated. This respect forms the foundation for trust, and it is through trust that we build a strong, peaceful connection. As you reflect tonight, think of the relationships where mutual respect exists. Perhaps it is the way a partner listens to you without judgment, or how a friend values your opinions even when they differ from their own. These small acts of respect strengthen the bond between you and others. And in these bonds, you find peace. In this peace, there is rest. When respect is present in relationships, there is no need for tension or unease. It is only in this safe space that sleep can come easily and naturally. Another crucial aspect of creating healthy relationships is effective communication. Communication is the bridge that connects two hearts. It is the exchange of thoughts, feelings, and needs. When communication is open and honest, it creates a clear path for understanding. But when communication is hindered by misunderstandings or unspoken feelings, tension builds, and that tension can prevent restful sleep. Tonight, as you settle into bed, think about the ways you communicate in your relationships. Are you open, honest, and kind in your exchanges? Do you take the time to listen deeply to the other person? Or are you often distracted or distant? Effective communication involves not only speaking your truth, but also listening with empathy. It is in these moments of honest, loving exchange that relationships flourish and peace settles in. And in this peace, you find the stillness that guides you into sleep. Emotional support is another key ingredient in healthy relationships. Life is filled with challenges, and we are all better equipped to face them when we have a support system. Emotional support is the reassurance we receive from others, the knowledge that we are not alone in our struggles. It is the comfort that comes from knowing there is someone who understands, who listens, and who stands by us through thick and thin. As you reflect on your day, think of the relationships that provide emotional support. These are the people who offer their shoulders for you to lean on, their ears to listen, and their hearts to comfort. It is in these moments of support that we find strength, and in this strength, we find peace. This peace flows through us, soothing our worries and allowing us to rest. When we know that we are supported, we can let go of the anxieties that keep us awake, and sleep comes easily. Tonight, as you settle into bed, think about the quality moments you've shared with loved ones. Reflect on the time spent together, whether it was a quiet evening, a deep conversation, or a simple shared experience. It is these moments that build the foundation for strong, peaceful relationships. And in these relationships, peace resides, allowing you to rest without worry, knowing that you are connected, loved, and supported. Finally, remember that forgiveness plays a vital role in creating healthy relationships. In any relationship, misunderstandings and mistakes will arise. Holding on to grudges or past hurts creates emotional weight that can keep us awake, tossing and turning, replaying old arguments or disappointments. But forgiveness frees us. It is the act of letting go, of releasing the hold that past hurts have on our hearts. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over resentment, choosing to move forward with love. As you prepare to rest tonight, think of any relationships where forgiveness may be needed. Is there something you need to forgive, either in others or in yourself? Let go of the past and allow your heart to open once again. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Relationship wisdom for better sleep. As the world outside settles into the embrace of night, there's a softness that fills the air, inviting you to pause and reflect. In this stillness, the wisdom of relationships can provide you with the peace you need, not only to rest your body, but to calm your mind and soothe your soul. The relationships we nurture are not just the people we love. They are the sources of comfort, security, and peace that allow us to fall into restful sleep. The wisdom of relationships lies in their simplicity. It is not in grand gestures or lofty ideals, but in the small acts of love and care that we give and receive every day. These seemingly small moments create a deep sense of connection, one that nurtures our well-being and allows us to rest without worry or anxiety. The first piece of relationship wisdom is the power of quiet presence. In today's world, we often find ourselves distracted, our minds racing, our hearts pulled in many directions. But the greatest gift we can offer in relationships is simply being present. When we give our full attention to someone we love, when we listen with our hearts as well as our ears, we create a space of deep connection. This presence is not about doing or saying the right things. It is about being there, fully and completely in the moment. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about the relationships where presence has been felt. Perhaps it was a quiet moment shared with a partner, or a meaningful conversation with a friend where words were not needed. These moments of presence create a bond that goes beyond words, beyond actions. It is in this quiet connection that peace is found. And it is this peace that allows us to let go of the day and rest deeply. Another powerful piece of wisdom is the importance of understanding and empathy. In every relationship, there will be moments of misunderstanding, times when our needs or feelings are not fully understood by others. But the ability to approach these moments with empathy, to seek understanding rather than judgment, is what creates harmony. When we approach others with empathy, we create a safe space where vulnerability can be shared and where both hearts can be heard. As you lie down tonight, reflect on the relationships where empathy has been present. Think of the moments when you were able to truly understand someone else's perspective, when you listened with an open heart and responded with kindness. In these moments, you created a space of peace, a space where both people could feel seen and heard. It is in this mutual understanding that restful sleep begins, knowing that love exists, even in moments of disagreement. Forgiveness is another vital piece of relationship wisdom that invites peace and rest. Whether it is forgiving others or forgiving ourselves, letting go of the past is essential for creating space in our hearts and minds. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or past hurts creates emotional weight that prevents us from truly resting. But forgiveness, both of others and ourselves, frees us from the chains of anger and disappointment. Tonight, as you prepare to drift into sleep, think about the relationships that may still carry the weight of unresolved conflict. Is there something you need to forgive? Is there a past mistake, either of yours or another's, that is holding you back from finding peace? Forgiveness is not about excusing behavior. It is about choosing peace over pain, light over darkness. In the act of forgiveness, you release the tension that prevents rest. And in this release, you allow your heart to relax into the softness of the night. Another piece of relationship wisdom is the importance of balance. Relationships, like life, require balance. There must be space for both connection and independence, for both giving and receiving. Too often, we become consumed by our relationships, losing sight of our own needs and desires. But when we maintain balance, when we respect our own space and allow others the space to grow, we create relationships that are sustainable and healthy. As you lay down tonight, consider the balance in your relationships. Are you allowing yourself the time and space you need to rest, to recharge, and to be yourself? Are you honoring the needs of others while still honoring your own? It is this balance that creates peace, allowing both hearts to flourish without becoming overwhelmed by the weight of expectation. In this peace, sleep comes easily, as both the mind and body are free to rest. Finally, remember that love is a continuous practice. It is easy to take relationships for granted, to assume that love will always be there regardless of how we show up. But love, like any relationship, requires care and attention. It is a practice, a daily commitment to show up with kindness, understanding, and patience. The more we practice love, the deeper it grows, and the more peaceful our hearts become. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. The power of healthy relationships for restful sleep. As the world around you quiets and you sink deeper into the comfort of your bed, it's important to recognize the profound influence your relationships have on your ability to truly rest. The energy we carry from our interactions with others shapes not only our waking lives, but also the quality of our sleep. Healthy relationships, grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and love, act as the gentle foundation upon which restful, restorative sleep is built. When you think of healthy relationships, it's easy to imagine moments of joy, laughter, and connection. But their power extends far beyond the surface. The true strength of healthy relationships lies in the calm they bring. Calm that allows us to let go of the stress of the day and slip into a peaceful, uninterrupted rest. Healthy relationships offer us a refuge from the noise of the world, a space where we can be vulnerable, be ourselves, and find solace. One of the most profound ways healthy relationships impact our sleep is through emotional security. When we feel emotionally secure in our relationships, our minds are free from fear or anxiety. We trust that we are loved, supported, and accepted, and this trust creates a deep sense of peace. Emotional security means knowing that no matter what happens, there is someone by our side who will be there for us, offering comfort and understanding. As you prepare to rest tonight, reflect on the relationships where you feel emotionally secure. Perhaps it is with a partner who consistently offers support or a close friend who listens without judgment. These relationships give us the confidence to let go, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. This peace, born from emotional security, allows us to sleep soundly, unburdened by worry or fear. Another way healthy relationships foster restful sleep is through mutual care. When we are in relationships that nurture our well-being, emotionally, mentally, and physically, we are able to give our best selves, and in turn, receive the care we need. It is in these relationships that we feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Mutual care is not a one-way street. It is a beautiful exchange where both individuals offer support, encouragement, and love. Think tonight about the relationships where mutual care is present. Perhaps it is a family member who checks in on you, a partner who comforts you when you are feeling down, or a friend who lifts you up when you need it most. These acts of care create an environment where both individuals can flourish, knowing they have someone to lean on. This sense of mutual care fills us with peace, making it easier to surrender to sleep, knowing that we are loved and cared for. Balance is another powerful element of healthy relationships that contributes to restful sleep. In relationships, balance allows for both connection and space, for both support and independence. Healthy relationships do not demand constant attention or emotional labor. Instead, they allow for moments of rest, personal growth, and renewal. When balance exists, there is no pressure, no expectation that we must be everything to everyone. We can rest, knowing that our needs are respected and that we are allowed the time and space to recharge. As you relax tonight, think of the relationships in your life where balance exists. Are there moments of solitude, of quiet reflection, where you can reconnect with yourself, free from the demands of others? Relationships that allow for balance create peace, for they honor both connection and the need for space. It is in this balance that true rest can be found, when you are allowed to be your full, authentic self, without fear of losing your sense of individuality. Another way that healthy relationships impact sleep is through positive energy and support. Lastly, healthy conflict resolution is an essential element of relationships that promotes peaceful sleep. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how we approach it can make all the difference. In healthy relationships, conflict is addressed with respect, understanding, and a willingness to listen. Rather than escalating tension or harboring resentment, healthy conflict resolution creates the space for growth, understanding, and healing. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, think about the conflicts in your relationships. Have they been resolved with care, with open hearts and minds? Healthy conflict resolution frees us from the emotional burden of unresolved tension, allowing us to rest without carrying the weight of past arguments or misunderstandings. It is in these moments of resolution that we find peace, and it is this peace that guides us into restful sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Timeless relationship tips to unwind and fall asleep as the night unfolds, the world around you fades into stillness. And in this quiet moment, there is an invitation to unwind, to let go of the day's tension, and to embrace the peace that relationships can offer. Relationships are not only a source of love and connection, but also of comfort and calm. When we nurture our relationships with intention, they can become a refuge, a place where we can rest deeply, knowing that we are loved, supported, and cared for. Unwinding at the end of the day begins with connection. In the rush of our lives, it is easy to overlook the power of simply being present with those we care about. But connection, in its most peaceful form, is the act of showing up, being fully there, without distraction, without expectation. When you are truly present in your relationships, you allow space for the kind of deep connection that soothes the soul. This connection brings peace, and it is this peace that helps you unwind and fall asleep with ease. Tonight, as you lay down to rest, think of the relationships where you have experienced true connection. Perhaps it was a quiet moment shared with a partner, a thoughtful conversation with a friend, or the gentle presence of a loved one who made you feel understood. These moments of connection create a sense of safety and peace, allowing your mind to quiet and your body to relax. In this space, sleep becomes a natural extension of love and care. Gentle communication is another key tip for unwinding before sleep. Often, the day's stresses, miscommunications, or unsaid words can leave us feeling uneasy. But healthy communication in relationships allows us to express our feelings, thoughts, and needs in a way that fosters understanding, not conflict. Gentle communication is about speaking with kindness, listening with empathy, and creating a space where both parties feel heard and respected. As you prepare for sleep tonight, think about the conversations you've had throughout the day. Were they filled with kindness and understanding? Or were there moments where miscommunication caused tension? Reflect on how you can create more space for gentle, loving exchanges in your relationships. In doing so, you release any lingering discomfort, allowing your heart to relax and your mind to calm. It is in these peaceful exchanges that the foundation for restful sleep is laid. Emotional release is another essential part of unwinding. In relationships, sometimes we hold on to past hurts, resentments, or misunderstandings, carrying them with us into the night. But emotional release, whether through conversation, expression, or simply letting go, creates the space for peace to enter. When we allow ourselves to release the emotional weight of the day, we create room for relaxation and rest. Think about the relationships in your life where emotional release has taken place. Perhaps it was a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, or a moment when you allowed yourself to express vulnerability. When we release pent-up emotions, we allow our hearts to be lighter, and in this lightness, we find the peace necessary for restful sleep. Allow yourself to let go tonight, knowing that emotional release is a natural part of healing, and that rest follows when the heart is at ease. Lastly, self-care within relationships plays a vital role in unwinding and falling asleep peacefully. We often give so much of ourselves to others, sometimes forgetting to tend to our own needs. But when we practice self-care, when we honor our own well-being, we are better equipped to show up for others. This self-care may look like setting boundaries, taking time for yourself, or simply ensuring that you are emotionally nourished. Healthy relationships allow space for both individuals to care for themselves, knowing that self-love enhances the love shared. Tonight, as you reflect, think about how you can nurture yourself in your relationships. Are there moments where you need space to rest and recharge? Do you allow yourself to say no when you need time for yourself? In these moments of self-care, you create the energy needed to give and receive love. And it is this energy that brings calm and peace, leading you into a restful, rejuvenating sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Sleep soundly with these relationship life hacks. As the world quiets around you and the comforting embrace of night wraps itself around you, you find yourself reflecting on the simple yet powerful ways relationships shape the peace you carry into sleep. Often, the quality of our rest is influenced not just by the physical factors around us, but by the emotional and mental atmosphere created by the people in our lives. Relationships, when nurtured with intention and care, can provide the calm and security needed for deep, restorative sleep. One relationship life hack for sleeping soundly is prioritizing peaceful exchanges before bedtime. The moments leading up to sleep set the tone for how our minds will settle. Engaging in positive, calming interactions with loved ones before bed helps to foster emotional security and a sense of well-being. These peaceful exchanges can take many forms. Whether it's a soft conversation, a shared laugh, or simply sitting together in quiet companionship. As you prepare to sleep tonight, reflect on the moments leading up to your rest. Were they filled with peace? Perhaps it was a kind word shared with a partner, a small gesture of affection, or even a quiet moment of gratitude. When we end our day with love and peace, we create an environment where sleep can flow naturally, free from the weight of unresolved emotions or tension. Another life hack for sound sleep is setting emotional boundaries in relationships. Healthy boundaries create emotional security and allow you to protect your energy, ensuring that you do not carry the emotional weight of others into your rest. By setting clear, respectful boundaries, we create space for self-care and emotional recharge, both of which are essential for peaceful sleep. Think of the relationships in your life where boundaries have been honored. How have these boundaries created a sense of security and peace for you? As you prepare for rest tonight, reflect on how you can honor your emotional needs and how setting healthy boundaries in your relationships can lead to deeper rest. When we take the time to safeguard our emotional well-being, we create a foundation for sleep that is uninterrupted and nurturing. Physical affection also plays a crucial role in helping you sleep soundly. Physical touch, especially from those we love, releases oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that promotes relaxation and emotional connection. A simple hug, holding hands, or even a comforting touch can create a sense of security, reducing stress and promoting restful sleep. Tonight, as you lie in bed, think of the moments of physical affection that have helped you feel calm and loved. Perhaps it was the warmth of a partner's embrace, the gentle touch of a child's hand, or even the feeling of a pet curling up beside you. These moments of connection allow our nervous system to relax, signaling that it is time to rest. In the embrace of love, both physical and emotional, we find the peace needed to drift into sleep. Another relationship hack for sound sleep is sharing your day with someone you trust. Sharing the events, emotions, and thoughts of your day with a trusted loved one can act as a form of emotional release. By processing the day's experiences together, you free your mind from the clutter and allow yourself to let go. This kind of sharing strengthens relationships and creates a sense of emotional support, helping to alleviate stress and prepare you for rest. As you reflect tonight, think of the relationships where open sharing exists. Who in your life provides a safe space for you to express your thoughts and feelings without judgment? Whether it's a partner, a friend, or a family member, these moments of emotional exchange offer comfort and allow your mind to unwind. By sharing the weight of the day, you lighten your emotional load, making it easier to fall into deep, peaceful sleep. Gratitude rituals before bed can also play a transformative role in fostering restful sleep. When we take the time to express gratitude for the people we love, we invite a sense of peace and warmth into our hearts. Gratitude strengthens relationships by acknowledging the value others bring into our lives. It creates an emotional bond that is rooted in appreciation, and this bond fosters a sense of security and connection. Tonight, before you fall asleep, take a moment to reflect on what you are grateful for in your relationships. Perhaps it is the support of a loved one, the kindness of a friend, or the simple joy of shared moments. As you cultivate this sense of gratitude, you create an atmosphere of love and peace, which will guide you into restful, uninterrupted sleep. When we appreciate those around us, we deepen our connections and invite calmness into our hearts. Lastly, letting go of any unresolved conflicts before bedtime is crucial for sound sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Unlock the secrets to healthy relationships and sweet sleep. As the night envelops you in its gentle embrace, there is a quiet understanding that your relationships are the bedrock upon which your peace is built. Healthy relationships are not just sources of love and support. They are the key to unlocking the deep, restful sleep that rejuvenates both your body and mind. When relationships are nurtured with care and intention, they create a sense of calm that allows you to surrender to sleep, free from the worries that often keep you awake. The secret to healthy relationships lies in their ability to create a safe, emotional space. Emotional safety is the feeling that you can express yourself freely, without fear of judgment or rejection. In relationships where emotional safety exists, you are free to be vulnerable, to show up as your true self. This vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a strength that deepens the bond between you and others, fostering trust, connection, and peace. Tonight, as you prepare to drift into sleep, reflect on the relationships where you feel emotionally safe. Who are the people in your life who provide a space for you to express your true feelings without fear? When emotional safety is present, you can let go of the emotional weight that you may carry from the day, knowing that you are supported, loved, and understood. In this space of safety, rest comes naturally, as your heart is free from worry, knowing that it is held with care. Another secret to healthy relationships is healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that separate us from others. They are the lines we draw to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Healthy boundaries create balance, ensuring that we maintain our sense of self while still being deeply connected to those we love. They allow us to honor our own needs and desires while respecting the needs of others. As you lay in bed tonight, consider the boundaries you have in your relationships. Are they clear and respected? When we set healthy boundaries, we are able to protect our energy, creating space for rest and rejuvenation. These boundaries help us avoid burnout and exhaustion, allowing us to maintain our well-being while still nurturing our connections. It is in this balance of giving and protecting that we find peace, and it is this peace that leads to restful sleep. Trust is another secret that unlocks the power of healthy relationships. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful connection. It is the belief that we can rely on someone, that we are safe in their presence, and that our needs will be met with love and respect. Trust is not given freely. It is earned through consistent actions and genuine care. But when trust is present, it creates a sense of emotional security that allows us to rest without fear or anxiety. As you reflect tonight, think about the trust that exists in your relationships. Who in your life do you trust completely? Trust is the quiet assurance that we are not alone, that we are supported, and that our well-being is valued. It is in this trust that peace is found, and it is in this peace that restful sleep is born. When trust is present, you can release your worries, knowing that you are safe in the care of those around you. Open communication is another vital key to unlocking healthy relationships and sweet sleep. Communication is the bridge that connects hearts and minds, allowing for understanding, compassion, and mutual respect. But communication is not just about talking. It is about listening, about creating a space where both individuals feel heard and understood. Open, honest communication creates an environment where both parties feel safe to express their needs, desires, and concerns. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about the quality of your communication in your relationships. Are you able to speak openly and listen with empathy? Are you able to share your feelings without fear of judgment? When communication is open and honest, it fosters trust, respect, and peace, all of which create the foundation for restful sleep. By practicing open communication, you build relationships that allow both individuals to feel supported, seen, and loved, which naturally leads to a sense of calm and tranquility. Lastly, the secret to unlocking healthy relationships and sweet sleep is nurturing mutual respect. Respect in relationships is about valuing the other person's thoughts, feelings, and needs. It is the understanding that, even in moments of disagreement, both individuals are worthy of kindness, understanding, and empathy. Mutual respect creates a sense of equality, where both people feel valued and heard. As you lay down to rest tonight, reflect on the relationships where respect is present. Think about the times when you felt respected, when your thoughts and feelings were met with understanding, even if they were different from the other person's. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Love and sleep. Timeless wisdom for healthy relationships. As the night unfolds, a gentle stillness fills the air, inviting you to reflect on the profound connection between love and rest. Love, in its truest form, is a source of warmth and security, and it is through the wisdom of love that we find the peace needed to sleep soundly. Relationships built on love offer a sanctuary, a space where we can surrender our worries, release our fears, and simply be. In this safe haven, sleep becomes not just a physical necessity, but a peaceful continuation of the love we give and receive. The timeless wisdom of love is found in its simplicity. Love is not something that demands grand gestures or constant action. It is something that flows effortlessly when nurtured with care and attention. True love creates an environment where both individuals feel safe, valued, and supported. In this environment, peace flourishes, and with peace comes rest. One of the key pieces of wisdom is that love thrives in acceptance. Acceptance means embracing your loved ones as they are, without the need to change them or fit them into a mold. When love is built on acceptance, it allows both individuals to grow, evolve, and find their own space within the relationship. Acceptance does not mean tolerating harmful behavior. It means recognizing the inherent worth of the other person, even in their imperfections. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, reflect on the love you have for those in your life. Are you able to accept them as they are, with all their strengths and flaws? When we accept others without judgment, we create a safe space where love can grow and where peace can settle. This acceptance allows both hearts to rest, knowing that they are loved, not for what they do or how they change, but for who they are. Patience is another cornerstone of love that leads to restful sleep. In relationships, we often expect immediate results, wanting things to be perfect right away. But love requires patience. It requires us to allow our loved ones the space to be who they are and to grow at their own pace. This patience creates a foundation of trust and understanding, where both individuals can rest in the knowledge that love is not a race, but a journey. As you lie in bed tonight, think about the relationships where patience has been present. Reflect on the moments when you allowed someone the time and space they needed to grow or change. It is in these moments of patience that love deepens, and it is this deepened love that brings peace. When patience is present, we can let go of the need for immediate answers and simply trust that things are unfolding as they should. In this trust, we find the peace necessary for restful sleep. Another piece of wisdom is that love is not just an emotion, it is an action. True love is shown not only in words, but in the small, everyday acts of care and kindness. It is in the way we show up for our loved ones, in the way we listen, support, and nurture them. Love is demonstrated in the quiet moments, the hugs, the thoughtful gestures, the kind words that build the foundation for a strong, healthy relationship. Tonight, as you reflect on the love in your life, think of the small acts of love that have shaped your relationships. These are the moments that create a sense of security and trust. It is in these simple acts that we build a foundation of love, and it is on this foundation that peace rests. When we show love through action, we invite relaxation and calm into our hearts, and this calmness guides us into a peaceful sleep. Gratitude is another powerful force in love that promotes restful sleep. When we approach our relationships with gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Gratitude helps us appreciate the small moments, the quiet gestures, and the love that surrounds us. It reminds us of the richness of our connections and the beauty of the people in our lives. As you prepare to fall asleep, reflect on the relationships that fill your heart with gratitude. What are the moments of love that you are thankful for? Perhaps it is the thoughtfulness of a friend, the kindness of a partner, or the unwavering support of a family member. Gratitude shifts our hearts toward peace, allowing us to rest deeply, knowing that love surrounds us, and we are worthy of it. Lastly, forgiveness is an essential aspect of love that invites peace and rest. In every relationship, there will be moments of conflict, misunderstandings, and hurt. But love teaches us that forgiveness is the key to healing. Forgiveness does not mean excusing hurtful behavior. It means releasing the hold that anger and resentment have on our hearts. It is the act of choosing peace over pain, love over bitterness. Tonight, as you lay down to sleep, think about the relationships that may still carry the weight of past hurt. Is there someone you need to forgive? Or perhaps it is yourself? Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Falling asleep in peace. Relationship wisdom for a calm mind. As the night wraps you in its tranquil embrace, your body begins to relax, and your mind starts to slow. The world outside fades into the background, and within this stillness, you find space for reflection, an opportunity to embrace the peace that your relationships offer. The relationships we nurture are not only the foundation of our love, but also the wellspring of our peace. It is through the wisdom of our connections that we can calm the storms within our minds and fall into a restful sleep. The first piece of relationship wisdom for a calm mind is the power of presence. In our busy lives, it is easy to become distracted, both physically and emotionally. We often find ourselves mentally absent, even when we are with those we love. But true peace comes when we are fully present in our relationships, when we give our undivided attention to the people in our lives. We create a space of connection that brings calm to our hearts and minds. As you prepare to sleep tonight, think about the times when you felt truly present with someone, when you listened with full attention, when you shared a moment of deep connection. These are the moments that create lasting peace in relationships, for they remind us that we are seen, heard, and valued. Presence allows us to release the distractions of the day, leaving our minds free to rest. In the warmth of these moments, you can find the peace necessary for deep sleep. Forgiveness is another essential piece of wisdom that calms the mind. We all carry emotional burdens, unresolved conflicts, past hurts, and misunderstandings that weigh heavily on our hearts. Holding on to these unresolved feelings can create tension and anxiety, preventing us from fully relaxing. But when we practice forgiveness, we release the emotional weight of these conflicts, allowing our hearts and minds to be free. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, reflect on any lingering grudges or unresolved conflicts in your relationships. Who do you need to forgive, and who do you need to forgive yourself for? Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional burden that prevents you from finding peace. By choosing forgiveness, you allow your mind to quiet and your heart to heal, creating the space needed for restful, uninterrupted sleep. Gratitude is another powerful tool for calming the mind. When we approach our relationships with gratitude, we shift our focus from what is wrong to what is right. Gratitude helps us appreciate the people in our lives, the moments of connection, and the love we share. It allows us to acknowledge the abundance around us, rather than focusing on what we lack. As you close your eyes tonight, take a moment to reflect on the relationships that fill your heart with gratitude. Think of the love, support, and kindness that surround you. Gratitude helps to soften the mind, creating a sense of peace that allows you to release the anxieties of the day. When you are grateful for the connections in your life, you are more likely to fall asleep with a calm mind, knowing that you are loved and cherished. Clear communication is another relationship practice that promotes peace of mind. When communication is open, honest, and respectful, it removes the barriers that create misunderstandings and conflict. Clear communication creates understanding, which in turn creates a sense of security and trust. When we know that we can express our feelings and needs without fear of judgment or dismissal, we feel safe and at ease. Think about the conversations you've had in your relationships. Have they been filled with clarity and understanding? Are there any moments where you need to clear the air, to express your feelings, or to resolve any misunderstandings? Clear, compassionate communication fosters trust and connection, creating the emotional safety needed for deep, peaceful sleep. When we communicate with love and respect, we free our minds from the tension of unresolved issues, allowing rest to come easily. Lastly, emotional support is an essential component of healthy relationships that promotes peace of mind. Emotional support means knowing that, no matter what challenges we face, there is someone there to listen, to offer comfort, and to provide reassurance. When we feel supported in our relationships, we are able to face the difficulties of life with greater resilience. This support creates a sense of calm, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. As you prepare for sleep tonight, reflect on the emotional support you receive from your loved ones. Perhaps it is the steady presence of a partner, the understanding of a friend, or the encouragement of a family member. These acts of support bring comfort, allowing you to release the emotional weight that can prevent sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. The key to healthy relationships for better sleep. As the night embraces you with its soothing silence, a gentle invitation arises to reflect on how the relationships in your life shape the quality of your rest. Healthy relationships, built on trust, respect, and mutual care, are the foundation for emotional peace, and it is this peace that allows for better sleep. The quality of our connections with others directly impacts the quietness of our mind and the stillness of our heart, both of which are necessary for deep, restorative sleep. The key to healthy relationships begins with emotional honesty. Being able to express your feelings, thoughts, and needs openly and honestly with those you love creates an atmosphere of trust and understanding. Emotional honesty allows you to release the weight of unspoken words and hidden emotions, freeing your mind from the clutter that often keeps you awake at night. Tonight, as you settle into rest, think of the relationships where emotional honesty thrives. When you have shared your truth, when you've been open and vulnerable, how did it make you feel? Emotional honesty fosters connection, creating a space where both hearts can rest easily. It is in this openness that peace enters, and when peace is present, sleep follows naturally. Another key to healthy relationships for better sleep is mutual support. Life can be overwhelming at times, and in these moments, the presence of someone who listens, comforts, and reassures us is a gift. Mutual support means that both individuals in the relationship offer care, understanding, and encouragement. It's about standing by each other through challenges, offering strength when needed, and being a source of comfort when life feels heavy. As you prepare to fall asleep tonight, reflect on the relationships where you feel supported. Think about the people who have been there for you during difficult times, who have held space for your emotions, and who have offered encouragement. It is in these moments of support that we find peace, and it is this peace that leads to restful sleep. Knowing that we are not alone in our struggles allows us to release the worries of the day, trusting that we have the support we need to face whatever comes tomorrow. Trust is another cornerstone of healthy relationships that promotes better sleep. When trust is present, there is a deep sense of security, and it is this security that allows the mind to quiet. Trust in relationships means knowing that you are loved and respected, that your feelings and needs are valued, and that your emotional well-being is safe in the hands of another. It is this deep-seated security that fosters calmness, allowing you to let go of the tensions of the day and surrender to rest. Tonight, as you reflect on the relationships where trust exists, think about how trust shapes your sense of peace. Perhaps it is in the way a partner makes you feel safe, the way a friend shows up for you without hesitation, or the way a family member has always supported you. Trust is the bedrock upon which emotional safety is built, and it is in this safety that restful sleep is found. Trust allows you to release fear, knowing that you are loved and cared for, and it is this release that leads to peaceful rest. Another key to healthy relationships that support sleep is understanding and acceptance. When we are accepted for who we truly are, without judgment or expectation, we experience a sense of peace that transcends external circumstances. Healthy relationships allow us to be ourselves, to express our needs and desires, and to grow without fear of rejection. This understanding and acceptance create a space where both individuals can relax, knowing that they are loved for who they are, not for who they are expected to be. As you prepare to rest tonight, think of the relationships where you feel accepted. These are the connections where you can fully show up without the need to pretend or conform. Reflect on the peace that comes from being loved as you are, without judgment. This acceptance brings comfort to the soul, allowing you to let go of the anxieties that may linger. And in this release, you create the calm necessary for deep sleep. Lastly, mutual appreciation is an essential ingredient in healthy relationships that leads to better sleep. When we feel appreciated for the things we do, the love we give, and the way we show up in relationships, we feel valued and supported. This appreciation creates an atmosphere of respect and gratitude, where both individuals feel seen and recognized. It is in these moments of mutual appreciation that we find peace, knowing that our efforts are noticed and cherished. Tonight, reflect on the relationships where you feel appreciated. Think about the moments when someone expressed gratitude for your care, your kindness, or your presence. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Healthy relationships and restful sleep. The ultimate guide. As the quiet of the night wraps around you, and the world outside fades into the distance, you are left with a gentle realization that your relationships are the key to your peace, both during the day and as you rest. Healthy relationships don't just enrich your life with love and connection. They offer the tranquility and emotional security necessary for restful, rejuvenating sleep. The way we connect with others shapes not only our waking hours, but the quality of our rest as well. This guide to healthy relationships and restful sleep starts with nurturing emotional connection. The bonds we form with others, whether with family, friends, or partners, are built on emotional connection. When we feel emotionally connected to someone, we experience a deep sense of security, knowing that we are seen, heard, and valued. This connection is the foundation for trust, understanding, and mutual respect, all of which create the peace needed for a restful night. As you prepare for sleep tonight, reflect on the relationships where emotional connection thrives. Who in your life makes you feel safe to express yourself? Who listens without judgment, and who offers you their unwavering support? It is in these relationships that peace is found. And it is this peace that allows you to let go of the day's worries and drift into sleep with a calm mind and heart. Another key to healthy relationships and restful sleep is effective communication. Communication is the bridge that connects hearts, allowing both individuals to understand and support each other. In healthy relationships, communication is open, honest, and gentle. It is not just about speaking your truth, but also about listening with empathy and understanding. When communication flows freely and lovingly, it creates an environment where both individuals feel valued and understood. Tonight, as you settle into bed, think about the conversations you've had today. Have they been filled with understanding and care? Reflect on how you can foster more open, loving communication in your relationships. When we communicate with love and compassion, we remove emotional barriers, allowing us to relax and rest. It is in these conversations, whether big or small, that peace is created. And it is this peace that leads to restful, uninterrupted sleep. Trust is another crucial element of healthy relationships that promotes restful sleep. Trust is the quiet foundation upon which emotional security rests. When we trust those around us, we feel safe, knowing that our needs will be met with care and our feelings will be respected. Trust is built over time through consistent actions, honesty, and a genuine commitment to understanding one another. As you prepare to sleep tonight, think about the relationships where trust has been built. Reflect on how trust has given you the peace to let go of worry, knowing that you are supported and loved. Trust is a gift that creates a safe, emotional space. And it is in this space that sleep comes easily, free from the weight of doubt or fear. Mutual respect is also an essential ingredient in healthy relationships that lead to restful sleep. Respect in relationships means recognizing the inherent worth of the other person, regardless of their flaws or differences. It is about honoring each other's boundaries, feelings, and needs, and creating a space where both individuals feel safe to be themselves. When respect is present, there is no room for manipulation or control. Only love, understanding, and acceptance. Tonight, as you reflect on your relationships, consider the respect that exists within them. Do you feel valued for who you are, without the need to conform to expectations? Are you able to offer the same respect in return? When mutual respect is nurtured, relationships become a source of peace. And it is this peace that allows you to rest deeply. Another aspect of healthy relationships that promotes peaceful sleep is emotional support. Life can be overwhelming at times, and knowing that we have someone to lean on makes all the difference. Emotional support is not just about offering advice or solutions. It's about being there for someone, offering a listening ear or a comforting presence. When we feel emotionally supported, we experience a sense of calm, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. Think tonight about the relationships where you receive emotional support. Who in your life offers you comfort, reassurance, and understanding? It is in these moments of support that we find peace, knowing that we are held, both physically and emotionally. This peace is what allows us to release our worries, knowing that we can rest without fear. Emotional support creates the sense of security that is necessary for restful, rejuvenating sleep. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. The relationship secrets that help you sleep like a baby. As the night unfolds around you and the world grows quieter, there's a peaceful understanding that the quality of our relationships plays a crucial role in the depth of our rest. When we nurture our relationships with care, trust, and understanding, they become a source of calm, soothing us into sleep like a gentle lullaby. Healthy relationships, full of love and support, create the emotional security we need to drift into sleep with ease, free from the tensions of the day. The first secret to sleeping like a baby through relationships is the power of emotional security. When you feel emotionally safe with someone, your heart can relax. Emotional security comes from knowing that your feelings will be respected and that you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. In relationships where emotional safety exists, there is no room for anxiety or tension, just trust and comfort. As you prepare for sleep tonight, think of the relationships where you feel this emotional security. Perhaps it's with a partner who has always been there for you, or a close friend who listens without judgment. These are the relationships that allow you to let go of the worries of the day, knowing you are surrounded by unconditional love and support. It is in this security that sleep comes easily, like a soft embrace that carries you into a peaceful rest. Another relationship secret that promotes restful sleep is shared calm. In healthy relationships, the energy you share with each other can either elevate your mood or help calm your mind. When you spend time with someone who brings peace and tranquility into your life, your own mind becomes more relaxed. Calmness is contagious, and being around people who are emotionally steady and grounded helps you settle into a similar state. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, think about the relationships that bring calm into your life. Who are the people who help you feel grounded, who offer a sense of stability and peace? Perhaps it's the quiet presence of a partner or the steady reassurance of a close friend. These relationships act as emotional anchors, allowing your mind to unwind and your heart to settle. It is in this shared calm that restful sleep is found, as you release any remaining tension and embrace a sense of serenity. Consistent affection is another secret to sleeping soundly through relationships. Physical affection, whether through touch, a hug, or even simply sitting close, creates a sense of connection and safety. These small gestures of love stimulate the release of oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that promotes relaxation and reduces stress. When we experience affection from those we love, our nervous system calms, and our bodies are better able to relax. As you lie in bed tonight, think of the moments of affection you've shared with loved ones. Perhaps it's the warmth of your partner's touch, the comforting embrace of a friend, or the gentle closeness of a family member. These acts of physical connection send signals to your body that it is safe, that you can rest. In this safety, your body and mind are free to unwind, and sleep becomes a natural, peaceful process. Positive communication is another secret that contributes to sound sleep in relationships. Communication in healthy relationships is not just about exchanging information. It's about creating emotional clarity, understanding, and connection. When we communicate positively, we feel seen, heard, and valued. This fosters a deep sense of emotional peace, which allows our minds to relax. On the other hand, negative communication, filled with conflict, judgment, or misunderstanding, can create emotional tension, which makes sleep elusive. Tonight, reflect on the conversations you've had with loved ones. Were they filled with understanding and positivity? Were you able to communicate your needs and feelings openly, and were you met with empathy? Positive communication creates a space where emotional clarity can thrive, and in this space, peace settles in. When we speak to and listen to those we love with kindness, we create an environment where sleep comes easily, free from emotional clutter or tension. Another relationship secret to sleeping soundly is supportive empathy. Healthy relationships thrive on the ability to listen with empathy, to truly hear and understand the other person's feelings, needs, and desires. When we feel supported and understood, we are more likely to feel safe enough to let go of the day's stress and rest peacefully. Empathy allows us to feel emotionally nourished, and this emotional nourishment is essential for relaxation. As you prepare to fall asleep tonight, think of the people in your life who offer you this supportive empathy, who listens without interruption, offering care and understanding when you need it most. These relationships provide the emotional nourishment. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Fall asleep to this relationship wisdom for a peaceful mind. As the night envelops you, bringing the stillness of the world into your room, there is a quiet moment of reflection, an opportunity to let go of the day and settle into peace. The wisdom found in our relationships can offer us the clarity, security, and comfort we need to allow our minds to rest. When we nurture our relationships with love, care, and mutual respect, they become the foundation of peace in our hearts and minds. And it is this peace that guides us into the restful, rejuvenating sleep we all need. One piece of relationship wisdom that promotes a peaceful mind is the power of emotional support. Life can be overwhelming, filled with stresses and challenges, but healthy relationships offer a source of reassurance and comfort. Emotional support means knowing that someone is there for you, to listen, to care, and to offer understanding. This support provides emotional grounding, helping you feel less alone in your struggles, and creating a sense of calm that allows you to release the worries of the day. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, reflect on the relationships where emotional support is present. Who in your life offers a shoulder to lean on when you need it most? Think of the times when you felt heard, understood, and reassured by someone you trust. This support, this quiet presence, helps to calm the mind, removing the emotional clutter that often interferes with sleep. When we feel supported, we are free to relax and allow the peace to enter, guiding us into deep sleep. Another piece of wisdom is the gift of vulnerability. True connection in relationships comes when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, when we share our feelings, our fears, and our dreams with others. This vulnerability fosters intimacy and trust, creating a space where both individuals can feel safe to express themselves without judgment. It is through vulnerability that we find a deep sense of emotional security, which brings peace to our minds and hearts. As you close your eyes tonight, reflect on the relationships where vulnerability is welcomed and cherished. Who in your life allows you to be yourself without fear of rejection or misunderstanding? Think of the moments when you shared your heart and felt supported in return. These moments of emotional connection create a sense of calm and security, making it easier to release the day's tensions and drift into peaceful rest. Another important relationship wisdom for a peaceful mind is the importance of forgiveness. Whether it's forgiving others or forgiving ourselves, the act of forgiveness releases us from the emotional burden of anger, resentment, or guilt. Holding on to past hurts keeps our minds restless, replaying old arguments or mistakes. But when we choose forgiveness, we free ourselves from the chains of negative emotions and allow peace to take root. Tonight, as you prepare to fall asleep, think of any unresolved emotions or grudges that may be lingering in your heart. Is there someone you need to forgive? Or perhaps it's time to forgive yourself? Understand that forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for your peace. By letting go of past hurts, you create emotional space to relax and rest, knowing that peace is yours to embrace. Gratitude is another relationship practice that brings peace to the mind. When we focus on gratitude in our relationships, we shift our perspective from what is lacking to what is abundant. Gratitude opens our hearts and deepens our connections with others, reminding us of the love, kindness, and support that surrounds us. When we are grateful for the people in our lives, we feel more at ease, knowing that love is present, both in the small acts and the big gestures. As you prepare for rest, take a moment to reflect on the relationships you are grateful for. Who in your life makes you feel valued and appreciated? Reflect on the moments of kindness, understanding, and love that you've received today. Gratitude fosters a peaceful heart, and it is this peaceful heart that allows the mind to quiet, making it easier to drift off to sleep with a calm and content spirit. Quality time is another relationship wisdom that contributes to a peaceful mind. Spending meaningful time with loved ones helps strengthen the bond between you, creating a sense of belonging and emotional connection. These shared moments, whether in silence or conversation, create a space where both individuals can feel understood, loved, and supported. This connection is the foundation for peace, as it reminds us that we are not alone in our journey. Tonight, reflect on the quality moments you've shared with those you love. Were there moments when you felt deeply connected, when you shared a meaningful conversation or simply enjoyed each other's presence? These moments of connection help to calm the mind, reducing the mental noise that often keeps us awake. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Creating balance. Relationship tips to help you sleep well. As the day winds down and the world outside fades into stillness, there is a unique peace in knowing that the relationships we nurture can be a source of balance in our lives. Balance in relationships is not about perfection. It's about finding harmony, creating space for both connection and individuality, and ensuring that both partners can thrive. When balance is present in our relationships, it helps us to release the day's stresses and rest deeply, knowing that love and understanding are present. The first key to creating balance in relationships that promotes restful sleep is mutual respect. Respect in a relationship means honoring each other's individuality, needs, and boundaries. It is about recognizing that each person brings their own unique qualities to the connection, and that these differences are not something to be fixed, but celebrated. When respect is present, both individuals feel heard, understood, and valued. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, reflect on the relationships where mutual respect exists. Think about how this respect has created peace and trust in your connections. When respect is nurtured, it creates a safe space where both individuals can express themselves freely. And it is in this safe space that sleep comes easily. A restful mind is born from knowing that we are loved and respected for who we are, without pressure to conform or change. Another important aspect of balance in relationships is emotional space. In healthy relationships, both individuals honor the need for personal time and space. This space allows each person to recharge, process their own emotions, and nurture their individual well-being. When we give each other space, we strengthen the relationship by allowing both individuals to grow and evolve without feeling smothered or overwhelmed. As you lie down tonight, think about the balance of emotional space in your relationships. Do you allow yourself and others the time and space to recharge? Have you created an environment where both partners can thrive individually without guilt or pressure? When we respect each other's need for space, we create a healthier dynamic that fosters peace. It is this peace that allows us to release the day's tensions and drift into restful sleep. Clear communication is another vital aspect of creating balance in relationships. Open, honest, and kind communication creates a space where both individuals feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, feelings, and needs. When communication is clear, it eliminates misunderstandings and creates emotional clarity, which reduces stress and anxiety. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, reflect on the communication in your relationships. Are there any conversations left unresolved, or any unspoken feelings that need to be expressed? Healthy communication allows both individuals to feel heard, creating emotional stability. This stability is essential for peace of mind, and it is in this peace that restful sleep is found. The more we practice clear communication, the easier it becomes to let go of worries and surrender to sleep. The final secret to creating balance in relationships for better sleep is shared love and affection. While personal space is important, love and affection are equally crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship dynamic. Affection can be physical, like holding hands or a gentle hug, or emotional, like a word of encouragement or appreciation. These small acts of love keep the connection strong and provide reassurance, creating an environment of peace. Tonight, reflect on the ways affection is shared in your relationships. Are there moments of closeness and tenderness that help you feel secure and loved? When love is freely given and received, it fosters trust and emotional peace, allowing you to relax and unwind before sleep. It is in these moments of shared affection that the heart finds comfort, and it is this comfort that leads to a peaceful, restful night. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Good night, love. Relationship wisdom for a restful night. As the final moments of the day settle in, there is a deep sense of peace that can be found in the simple act of saying good night to the ones we love. Good night, in its quiet simplicity, carries the weight of affection, care, and connection. It is a moment to pause, to reflect, and to release the day's worries, knowing that love is the thread that weaves our hearts together, guiding us gently into restful sleep. The first piece of relationship wisdom for a restful night is the power of gratitude. As you prepare to end your day, take a moment to reflect on the relationships that have nourished you. Gratitude creates a peaceful state of mind, allowing you to release the stresses of the day and enter a space of emotional calm. When we express appreciation for the people in our lives, it strengthens our bond with them and fills us with a sense of warmth and security. Tonight, as you lie in bed, think about the moments in your day that you are grateful for. whether it's the comforting presence of a loved one, the kindness of a friend, or the support of a partner. Allow this gratitude to fill your heart, knowing that you are surrounded by love and understanding. Gratitude, like a soft embrace, brings peace to the soul, allowing you to release any lingering thoughts and drift into a calm, restful sleep. Another relationship wisdom for a peaceful night is the practice of emotional release. At the end of each day, we often carry emotional baggage, unresolved issues, unmet needs, or unspoken words. These emotional weights can make it difficult to relax and fall asleep. But in healthy relationships, we can release these emotional burdens through conversation, understanding, and support. When we share our feelings with those we trust, we create space for healing and peace. Before you close your eyes tonight, think of the relationships that offer emotional support. Is there something you need to share, a feeling that needs to be expressed? Perhaps it is a simple moment of connection, where you can let go of the emotional weight and find comfort in the presence of someone who cares. In these moments of emotional release, peace is restored. And with that peace, sleep comes naturally, free from the weight of unresolved emotions. Physical affection is another key to a restful night's sleep. The power of touch is profound, whether it's a gentle kiss on the forehead, a soft hug, or the simple act of holding hands. These acts of affection release oxytocin, the hormone that fosters connection and reduces stress. Physical touch is a way to reassure your partner or loved one that they are safe, loved, and cared for. This reassurance calms the nervous system, making it easier to let go of the day and relax into sleep. As you prepare for rest tonight, think of the times you've shared physical affection with someone you love. Think of the comfort that comes from a loving touch, and how it creates a space of emotional security. When we are physically connected to the people we care about, we feel safe. And it is this sense of safety that allows us to let go of the day's tension and rest deeply. Soft words of love and affirmation are another powerful practice for a restful night. In relationships, the words we say before sleep can have a profound impact on our emotional well-being. A simple, "I love you," or a kind word of encouragement can fill the heart with warmth and reassurance. These words create a sense of connection and safety, soothing the mind and allowing the heart to relax. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, reflect on the words of love and support you've received today. Were they gentle and affirming? Did they make you feel valued and loved? Let these words fill you with peace, knowing that love is present in your life. It is these soft words of love that provide comfort, creating the emotional security necessary for restful sleep. Finally, letting go of the day's stress is essential for a peaceful night's rest. Before sleep, it is important to release the worries and stresses that may still be lingering. This doesn't mean ignoring problems, but it does mean acknowledging them and allowing them to rest, just as you do. In healthy relationships, there is the understanding that we don't have to carry everything alone. Our loved ones offer support, reassurance, and comfort, helping us to release the burdens we carry. As you prepare to fall asleep tonight, take a deep breath and let go of the stress of the day. Whether it's a tough conversation, an unresolved issue, or a worry about the future, allow it to rest for now. In the embrace of love, you can release these concerns and surrender to the peace that surrounds you. With this peace, sleep becomes a natural, effortless transition, allowing you to wake up renewed and ready for the new day. Now, let's move on to the next chapter: healthy relationships that promote better sleep. as the night deepens and you settle into the comfort of your bed, a gentle realization may arise. The quality of your sleep is intricately linked to the health of your relationships. Healthy relationships are not only sources of love and joy, they also serve as the foundation for emotional peace and mental clarity, which are essential for a good night's rest. When relationships are built on trust, understanding, and respect, they create an environment where rest is not only possible, but nourishing for the soul. The first secret to relationships that promote better sleep is emotional security. Emotional security in relationships is the sense that you are supported and cared for, regardless of the challenges you may face. When you feel secure in your relationships, your mind can relax, free from the worry of abandonment or conflict. Emotional security allows you to rest, knowing that you are loved and accepted, even in your moments of vulnerability. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about the relationships in your life where emotional security exists. Perhaps it's the unwavering support of a partner, the understanding of a close friend, or the comfort of family. These are the relationships that provide a sense of calm, allowing you to let go of the stresses of the day and surrender to peaceful rest. When emotional security is present, sleep becomes a natural extension of the peace that comes from knowing you are loved and supported. Healthy boundaries are another key element of relationships that promote better sleep. Boundaries are the lines we draw to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. In healthy relationships, both individuals respect and honor each other's boundaries, creating a space where both can thrive. When boundaries are respected, there is no emotional burnout, no overwhelm, and no fear of overextending yourself. Healthy boundaries allow you to give your best without depleting yourself, and this balance fosters emotional peace. As you reflect tonight, consider the boundaries in your relationships. Do you honor your own needs while respecting the needs of others? Do you feel safe to express your boundaries without fear of rejection or conflict? When boundaries are respected, you create a space where both individuals feel valued, and it is in this space of mutual respect that restful sleep is found. By setting and respecting boundaries, you protect your emotional well-being, creating a peaceful mind ready for rest. Open communication is also a vital ingredient in healthy relationships that promote better sleep. When communication is open, honest, and free from judgment, it creates a sense of emotional clarity. Healthy relationships allow both individuals to express their feelings, needs, and concerns without fear of misunderstanding or criticism. This open exchange builds trust, reduces anxiety, and strengthens the connection between individuals, all of which contribute to peace of mind. As you settle into bed tonight, reflect on the quality of communication in your relationships. Are you able to speak openly and listen with empathy? Are your conversations filled with understanding rather than frustration or confusion? When communication flows with kindness and honesty, it removes emotional clutter, leaving space for peace to take root. This emotional clarity calms the mind and creates an environment where sleep can arrive naturally, free from the weight of unspoken words or unresolved feelings. Another key element of healthy relationships for better sleep is shared vulnerability. In relationships where both individuals are able to share their deepest thoughts, fears, and dreams, there is a unique connection that fosters trust and intimacy. Vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength, a way to connect on a deeper level, to show each other who we truly are without masks or pretense. This shared vulnerability creates a sense of emotional closeness, reducing anxiety and allowing both individuals to feel safe and understood. Tonight, think about the relationships where you've shared your vulnerability. Perhaps it's a partner who listens when you need to open up, or a friend who allows you to express your fears without judgment. These moments of emotional openness create a bond that is rooted in trust. And it is in this trust that peace is found. When we feel emotionally safe with those we love, our hearts can rest, knowing that we are accepted for who we truly are. In this emotional security, we find the peace needed for restful sleep. Finally, mutual support is essential in relationships that promote better sleep. Relationships are built on the understanding that both individuals will support each other through life's challenges. This support is not just physical, but emotional, offering comfort, reassurance, and encouragement. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. Peaceful sleep starts with healthy relationships. As the night deepens, the soothing embrace of sleep seems almost within reach. But for many, rest can be elusive, with the mind racing and the body tense. In moments like these, it's important to remember the powerful influence that healthy relationships have on the quality of our sleep. The relationships we cultivate are not just the source of love. They also shape the emotional landscape of our lives, creating the conditions for peaceful, restorative sleep. The first key to peaceful sleep through healthy relationships is emotional stability. In relationships where both individuals support each other and offer reassurance, there is an emotional equilibrium that creates a sense of calm. This stability allows us to feel safe, knowing that we are loved and cared for. When emotional security exists in relationships, we are free to let go of the anxieties and stresses of the day, allowing our minds to relax and our bodies to unwind. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about the relationships where emotional stability is present. These are the connections where you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment or rejection, and know that your feelings will be respected. It is in this emotional safety that peace is found, and it is this peace that allows you to fall asleep easily, free from the weight of worry or uncertainty. Another important element of healthy relationships that promotes peaceful sleep is supportive communication. Clear, compassionate communication ensures that both individuals in a relationship feel heard, understood, and valued. When communication is open and honest, it removes confusion and emotional tension, allowing both individuals to connect more deeply. In relationships where communication flows freely, there is no emotional clutter or unspoken frustration, and this clarity creates a sense of peace. As you reflect tonight, think about the conversations you've had with those you love. Were they open, supportive, and filled with kindness? Were you able to express your thoughts and feelings without fear of being misunderstood? When communication is nurturing and empathetic, it allows emotional clarity to settle in, and it is in this clarity that peace grows. When we communicate with love and understanding, we create a mental space where sleep can be both effortless and rejuvenating. Trust is another cornerstone of healthy relationships that contributes to peaceful sleep. Trust is the quiet foundation that holds a relationship together, ensuring that both individuals feel secure and valued. When trust exists, there is no need for doubt, no fear of betrayal or misunderstanding. Trust allows us to rest easy, knowing that we are emotionally safe and that our loved ones have our best interests at heart. As you prepare to drift off to sleep, reflect on the trust in your relationships. Do you feel secure in the love and support you receive from others? Trust allows us to release the fears that often keep us awake, knowing that we are not alone in the world. When trust is present, peace follows naturally. And with this peace comes the ability to sleep soundly, without anxiety or stress clouding the mind. Another secret to peaceful sleep through healthy relationships is emotional reciprocity. In healthy relationships, love, care, and support are given and received equally. Emotional reciprocity means that both individuals contribute to the well-being of the relationship, ensuring that both feel valued and cared for. When this balance exists, there is no emotional imbalance or neglect. Both individuals feel supported, which creates a sense of emotional harmony. Tonight, reflect on the relationships where emotional reciprocity exists. Are your relationships built on mutual care and support? Are both parties equally invested in nurturing the connection? Emotional reciprocity ensures that both individuals feel seen and heard, and it is in this balanced exchange that peace is found. When both partners feel emotionally fulfilled, they can rest easy, knowing that the relationship is a source of mutual comfort and love. Lastly, self-care within relationships is vital for peaceful sleep. We often think of self-care as something we do alone, but in healthy relationships, self-care is supported and encouraged. When both individuals honor their own needs, whether physical, emotional, or mental, they are better able to show up for one another. By taking care of ourselves, we create the emotional and mental space needed to nurture our relationships, and in turn, both individuals benefit. As you settle into bed tonight, think about how you practice self-care in your relationships. Do you honor your own needs and boundaries? Are you able to nurture yourself while still being present for those you love? When self-care is encouraged in relationships, both individuals can recharge, and in this rejuvenation, they find the peace. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. End your day with peaceful relationship wisdom. As the day draws to a close and the stillness of night begins to surround you, there is a special kind of wisdom to be found in how we close our days. The way we end our day, particularly the moments we share with those we love, can greatly influence the quality of our sleep. The relationships we nurture, whether with family, friends, or partners, are not just sources of comfort. They are the gentle guides that help our minds and hearts unwind, bringing us into a peaceful, restful night. The first piece of relationship wisdom for a peaceful night is ending the day with gratitude. Gratitude allows us to focus on the positive aspects of our relationships, creating a sense of peace and appreciation. When we reflect on the moments of love, kindness, and support we've received throughout the day, our hearts soften and our minds quiet. Gratitude fosters emotional security, allowing us to release the stresses of the day and settle into the comfort of rest. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about the relationships that have nourished you today. Who has shown you kindness, love, or support? Reflect on these moments with a sense of appreciation, knowing that gratitude fills your heart with warmth. This gratitude opens the door to emotional peace, allowing you to release any lingering tension and drift into a restful sleep. Another relationship wisdom for a peaceful night is gentle closure. Throughout the day, conflicts or misunderstandings can arise, leaving emotional tension that disrupts our ability to relax. But healthy relationships offer us the opportunity to close the day with grace, resolving issues with care, kindness, and understanding. Gentle closure means addressing any conflicts or emotions with compassion, allowing both individuals to express their feelings and come to a place of mutual understanding. As you lie in bed tonight, think about the relationships where gentle closure exists. Did you have any disagreements or misunderstandings today? How did you handle them? Healthy closure ensures that emotional weight is released before sleep, creating an environment of peace and calm. When we approach the end of the day with understanding and forgiveness, we create the emotional space needed for a restful night's sleep. Reassurance is another powerful tool for a peaceful night's rest. Knowing that we are loved and cared for provides the emotional security necessary for deep sleep. A simple word of reassurance, a comforting gesture, a loving good night, or a gentle touch can signal to our minds and bodies that it's safe to relax. When we are reassured that we are not alone, that we are supported, we can let go of the worries that keep us awake. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, think of the moments of reassurance in your relationships. Who in your life provides you with a sense of emotional security? Whether it's a partner who offers comforting words, a friend who listens with empathy, or a family member who checks in with care, these moments of reassurance create a safe space to relax. Knowing that love is present allows your mind to settle, guiding you peacefully into sleep. Physical affection is another key to ending the day on a peaceful note. Physical affection, such as holding hands, hugging, or simply being close, provides a calming sense of connection. Touch releases oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and relaxation, which helps reduce stress and promote a feeling of well-being. Physical affection signals to our nervous system that it's safe to relax, making it easier to let go of the day's stresses. As you lie down tonight, think about the moments of physical affection you've shared today. Was there a hug, a kiss, or a simple touch that made you feel loved and secure? These moments of connection create emotional peace, and it is this peace that allows you to relax fully. When you feel physically connected to your loved ones, you can let go of tension and drift into sleep, comforted by their presence. Finally, expressing love before sleep is a powerful way to end the day. Saying, "I love you," offering a kind word, or simply acknowledging how much someone means to you can bring warmth to both hearts. These simple acts of love foster emotional connection, strengthen the bond between you and your loved ones, and bring a sense of calm that makes it easier to rest. Tonight, as you reflect on the relationships in your life, think about the words of love shared. Were there moments when you expressed your feelings openly? Did you share a loving gesture or a kind word with someone you care about? These moments of affection and connection offer a sense of emotional fulfillment, creating a peaceful heart and a relaxed mind. When love is shared, peace settles in, and sleep follows naturally. Now, let's move on to the next chapter. How to sleep better by improving your relationships. As the night wraps you in its quiet embrace, the importance of relationships becomes ever clearer. The way we connect with others, the care we share, and the emotional support we offer all play a significant role in the quality of our rest. In fact, nurturing healthier relationships can be one of the most effective ways to improve sleep, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Healthy relationships foster a sense of security, comfort, and peace, making it easier to let go of the stresses of the day and drift into restful sleep. One of the key ways to improve your sleep through relationships is by cultivating emotional support. In every relationship, whether with a partner, friend, or family member, emotional support creates a sense of safety that allows you to relax. When we feel emotionally supported, we are able to share our worries, express our needs, and receive comfort and understanding in return. This emotional release reduces stress and prepares us for peaceful rest. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, reflect on the emotional support you receive from those around you. Who in your life provides you with comfort when you feel overwhelmed? Whether it's a partner who reassures you or a friend who listens with empathy, these relationships help to calm your mind. Knowing that we are supported gives us the peace of mind necessary to unwind and drift into restful sleep. Another way to sleep better by improving relationships is through consistent, loving communication. Communication is not just about exchanging information. It's about connecting on a deeper emotional level. When communication is open, loving, and honest, it creates a space where both individuals feel valued and heard. Positive communication fosters trust and emotional safety, which are essential for reducing anxiety and stress before sleep. As you reflect tonight, think about the conversations you've had today. Were they filled with love and understanding? Was there space for both of you to express your feelings openly? When we communicate lovingly, without judgment or fear, we create an emotional connection that helps our minds feel at ease. This ease is the foundation for peaceful sleep, allowing us to release any lingering tension and rest fully. Healthy boundaries in relationships are also key to improving sleep. Boundaries allow us to protect our emotional, mental, and physical space. In relationships where boundaries are respected, we feel valued, understood, and free to express our needs. When boundaries are clear, there is less emotional stress and more emotional balance. This balance allows us to be present for others without feeling overwhelmed, creating an environment of peace that makes falling asleep easier. Think tonight about the boundaries you have in your relationships. Are they respected, both by you and by others? Do you feel comfortable asserting your needs, knowing that your boundaries will be honored? When we respect and honor our own boundaries and those of others, we create relationships that are emotionally nurturing and supportive. This emotional balance allows us to release stress, making it easier to drift off into a peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. Trust is another cornerstone of relationships that contributes to better sleep. When trust exists, we feel safe and secure. We know that we can rely on the people in our lives to support us, to be honest with us, and to offer us comfort when we need it. Trust provides a sense of emotional stability, allowing us to let go of fear and anxiety, which are often the culprits that keep us awake at night. Tonight, reflect on the trust that exists in your relationships. Do you feel confident in the love and support you receive? Think about the times when trust has been demonstrated through consistency, honesty, and care. Trust allows our hearts to relax, knowing that we are safe. In this safety, we can release our concerns and rest deeply, unburdened by the weight of uncertainty. Lastly, shared moments of affection play a vital role in improving sleep through relationships. Physical affection, like hugs, kisses, or simply holding hands, promotes the release of oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that helps us relax. These moments of connection foster a sense of security and well-being, which reduces stress and makes it easier to unwind and prepare for sleep. As you prepare for bed tonight, think about the physical affection you've shared with loved ones. Did you share a tender touch, a comforting hug, or simply sit close to someone you care about? These small gestures of love help to release tension in the body and create a sense of emotional safety. When affection is shared, it creates an environment of peace, making it easier to let go of the day and fall into restful sleep.